Hello, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Ja Morant, and I'm here with River Brown, Angel Velez, and Joe Dehls. This is now episode 382. In this episode, we are going to give our prediction for the NBA Finals, rank the best duos in the NBA, debate if everyone is forgetting about Ja Morant. I know Riv is excited for that, and talk about some trending topics in the NFL today. We got a special guest. Pick a side, P. Pee-wee the plug. How are you doing?
Disgusting. This how we feeling, man.
Big Mavs energy.
I'm seeing them shirts y'all boys rocking. And
shout out to Tyler Upchurch.
I had to join the wave. I got the Boston Celtics in 6, but I'm rooting for the Mavericks.
No, I love that he's just like, you know what? Let's not get to the chitter chatter. I'm just straight to business.
I didn't even peep y'all shirts when I first was talking to y'all, but then I saw when y'all was doing the intro to Luka and the Kyrie.
Listen, shout out to our brother Ricky Clicky Keys. He sent us these shirts a minute ago. He's been dying for us to wear them. We had to be right for the finals episode. We had to put on the shirts. But listen, I promise you guys alive. I promise you guys a special guest, Pick a Side legend. I come through. I got so many messages saying that I'm a liar. You can't trust me. This, that, and the third. And now y'all are welcome. Now,
why are they saying that about you? Why would they call you a liar?
That's what I'm wondering.
She said recording Monday. We're supposed to record Monday. 6 o'clock came around. Didn't record Monday. Supposed to record Tuesday. 6 o'clock came around. Didn't record
2 days
Tuesday.
in a row, man.
And we're here though.
Just couldn't get on the same page. But you guys are wearing that shirt. Let's tell everybody the context of why you're wearing that shirt. Number one,
okay,
Riv, you kind of got grouped into this unintentionally. You were disrespectful, but not so disrespectful to the Mavericks. He just said their defense wasn't good. You know, he didn't believe in their defense, which is fine. You know, I understand that. But Drew,
that was a lot of what it was.
We got 10-minute clips of Drew disrespecting the Mavericks every turn of the season. They're gonna lose against the Clippers. They're gonna lose to OKC in 5 games, and that's why our boy Ricky said, "You know what? Here's for you being wrong. You get these shirts.
I'm happy about
we
this.
want you to wear them on the podcast.
This shirt's awesome. I probably will wear this more than just this time. But listen, I righted my wrongs for the WCF. Saw game 1, saw how it went. Said, hey, Mavs got this one pretty easily.
That doesn't count.
Oh no, I'm not taking it as a W. But again,
that doesn't count.
It was understanding. Hey, this could go south very quickly, and I believe that it will. So I'm going to go with the Mavericks after game 1 for sure. But again, credit to the Mavericks. You guys and I have had a lot of fun this season. It's a lot of love. I understand for some of y'all, it's a little bit of hate, but to me, that's okay too. It's been an unbelievable NBA season, and it's going to be a great finale, no doubt about it.
Pierre, how you been, man?
I've been phenomenal. I've been riding this high. I've been a guy that's had the Mavericks. On my podcast, I was the only one that had the Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals. So I'm actually not sure why I was even surprised that Riv and Drew didn't have the Mavericks or any faith in them. I'm good though. The bitter sweet thing about this is I can't believe we in the finals.
Just do that shot at us. He's like, I'm not even surprised.
I'm not. No, I just feel like nobody really took the Mavericks serious, and I've just been one of those people. Like, we did a March Madness bracket type thing on our show, and we was like saying what teams could have a run of like a Cinderella, and I was going to bat for the Mavericks, and my co-host was just looking at me like I was stupid, and they went on a run. You know, I was even talking about this could be the year that Luka could take the best player in the league crown from Jokic. And again, my co-host was looking at me like I was crazy. So to see all of this kind of happen, I got nothing but love for the Mavericks because they just making me look like a basketball genius. So, but yeah, I can't believe we here. I remember being in summer league with y'all, and that felt like it was 2 months ago, let alone being at the end of the season, and like summer league is right around the corner again. Yep. So the season is it's kind of scary how fast time is flying. So that's always the crazy part for me.
They always say time flies when you're having fun, but something similar on our show. The guy that kind of is in your shoes on our show is this guy over here. It's just unfortunate that for the WCF, you know, just couldn't ride the wave all the way.
Oh, yeah, that's the only thing you got on me. But, you know, I've been with the Mavs all year long.
For sure.
I won to bet over you, the 6 seed bet, which is easy cash money.
For sure.
PJ Washington being the needle mover. That's my dog. Derek Lively before the season. He going to make a huge impact. He has.
I never doubted Derek Lively.
That's my dude.
I didn't doubt Derek Lively. I was also very high on the Daniel Gafford move. PJ Washington, That at the time, I definitely was not moved. But he has done his thing in this playoffs, no doubt. WCF kind of was just along for the ride. Of course, he has his role. Shout out to him, but he's been awesome for the majority of these playoffs. There's no hate on my side when it comes to the Mavericks. They've definitely shut me up.
So, Pierre, we're going to be in Vegas for Summer League this year again.
Oh, man, that makes me very happy to hear because I talked to Drew and the answers and responses he was giving me was making me feel like I shouldn't even think about y'all being there.
It was definitely a pessimistic time, but I was able to convince.
We got a 180 from one of the people at these teams.
A complete.
There was a reason why we didn't think we were going to go.
I know.
Completely out.
Drew was very transparent on why. I ain't want to put nobody out there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I appreciate that, Pierre. But yeah, no, I didn't want to go to Vegas. It was between Vegas and El Salvador, but I can't go to El Salvador no more. I don't have my passport. It has expired, and it takes like a month to get it.
Yeah, it takes a minute.
I'm not trying to pay to get it expedited. Yeah. So
what
Vegas.
What DJ Khaled say? God did.
I'm geek. I'm not mad at all. This is some of the best news I've gotten in a while.
I'm ready to get back, man. It's
been too long.
Y'all got some.
I'm ready to get back, man. I got unfinished business out there. I got to handle some stuff out there for sure. I got some things I got to do. So
you've been on the digital footprint with it too.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely I got to get back out there.
I know you guys are excited.
Forget that follow.
You guys are some freaky animals right here.
Whoa! I don't know what you're talking about. We are children of the Lord.
I'm a freaky animal.
We are.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
We gonna kidnap you and bring you out. We gonna have you put the E in ignorant.
So Pierre, you gave your prediction. You got Celtics in 6. It's not a surprise, but for us here, this is our first show making a prediction, previewing the finals in general. And this is our time to give our prediction and to talk about what I think is going to be a great NBA Finals. And Dehls, what I think has been a great season between you and I, going back and forth. One of my goals is I want to get your red when you talk about the Celtics. I love getting your red. That tells me I'm doing a good job. And I've seen it happen a couple of times on a podcast.
Say crazy.
It's happened a couple of times on a podcast. Now, Dehls, I want to tell you this. I want you to have the floor first and tell me why you think you're going with the Boston Celtics.
You mean his team?
Yes, his team.
Why would he ever pick anyone else?
And then we could just go round table and talk about it. But I'm excited for this NBA Finals, and I'm excited for all y'all picks.
Me too. I can't wait for this finals to start. It's been a long 9-10 days of just nonsense in the media. Pierre, I've seen what D-Mill's been saying. Don't worry, I've been keeping track there too. A lot of nonsense in the media, whether it's about Jason Tatum not being happy enough for Jaylen Brown for winning ECF MVP, for questioning the run for the Boston Celtics. I'm happy we're finally here. Happy we get to see basketball again because it's been too damn long. Both teams took care of business quickly in 4 and 5 games, and it's been way too long since we got playoff basketball. I got Boston winning this series in 6 games. I think there's a few different reasons. Number one, I think Boston has shown from day one in this NBA season to now that they've been the best, most complete team in the NBA. What do you want to look at? Offense, defense, net rating, just talent-wise, 1 through 6, 1 through 7, if you take into account some of the bench players who have stepped up for them throughout this part. And even in this postseason, being 12-2, regardless of the path, I mean, these other players are NBA players. You're going onto the road who they're undefeated, and they've had 18-point comebacks, 15-point comebacks, whatever it was on the road. And throughout the different stages, various guys have stepped up, whether it was Jaylen Brown in Game 1, whether it was Drew Holiday in Game 4, whether it's Derek White in Game 4, Drew Holiday in Game 3, there's always been different guys stepping up at key moments. And now you get to add the 7-3 demon back to this rotation that we've been desperately missing. Although we've been dominating throughout these playoffs, we have desperately been missing Porzingis, especially as a rim protector. Even in pick and roll, he's one of the better pick and roll defenders in the NBA this season. Of course, Luka and Kyrie are going to do their thing, but I feel a lot more confident with him than Al Horford. But the one area I want to focus on, and I've seen a lot of people talk about this. I even saw KB, so you could put this information over to KB, or maybe want to talk to him in Summer League when we are NBA champions. I could tell him this is why. One of the biggest issues the Celtics have had has been clutch time over these last few seasons. You could go back to the bubble year. You could go back to Brad Stevens. Doesn't matter who the coach is. Doesn't matter who the supporting cast is. And this Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown era, they have struggled mightily when it comes to fourth quarter and clutch situations. And they've been able to turn around this postseason. And the number one reason, in my opinion, why they've been able to turn this around has been the pace they've been playing within the fourth quarter and in clutch time. If you look at the 2021-2022 season, they had a pace rate. Of course, you have pace. I think the high end this past season was Washington at 104. The low end was the New York Knicks at 97, just to kind of give you a barometer. So the last 2 years in 2021, 2022, the Celtics were at a 92.6 pace, by far and away the slowest team. If you look at this regular season, last season it was at 86.6, even slower. This season, they've been at a 102.1 pace, which would have been top 10 in the NBA. I think the biggest issue they have had has been Jason Tatum gets the ball top of the key. You're looking at the shot clock, 20 seconds, 15 seconds, 10 seconds. Now we're getting to our action. Yeah. I think they've done a lot better of a job when it comes to getting into actions with 16, 17, 18 seconds left in the shot clock, getting the ball quickly up into half court. Joe Mazzulla even spoke about this in his press conference, that's one thing they're keen in on, to make sure they're getting into their actions quickly. And I think that's translating. And you've seen them really be able to come up clutch, especially in that Pacers series, in multiple situations where they've been down or had a slight lead, being able to get baskets down the stretch and being able to execute. The other part is they've been able to hit shots. Jaylen Brown hit an incredible three-point shot over Pascal Siakam. He had another play in game 4 where he's dribbling, kind of middle of the court. He loses the ball, able to get it back. Derek White in the 3 hits the shot. So there's a difference between executing what you want to do and actually hitting the shot. I think the Celtics have been able to do both this postseason. I think they've been doing what they wanted to do in terms of getting to the looks they want, and then those players have also gotten the shot. From Dallas's perspective, I'm very curious to see how they defend Boston, because in my opinion, this is the toughest offense they're going up, at least the playoff offense, or just offense in general. I don't want to disrespect anyone out west, but at all times, if KP is able to give you 20, 25 minutes, you're going to have 5 shooters. It's going to be very difficult to help off any of these guys in terms of Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively really clogging up the paint. And then I'm also interested to see who they put on Jrue Holiday, because I think that's the one player that most teams kind of look at as our weak link offensively. And they put Tyrese Halliburton a lot early in the series when he was healthy against Indiana. And Jrue Holiday had probably his best playoff series of his life. I think he averaged 18 on like 65% shooting. He was unbelievable. So that's the biggest question I have for the Dallas Mavericks, how they're going to defend Boston, who are they putting on Jrue, and is Jrue going to be as aggressive as he was? The 3-point was falling. We saw multiple times he was able to get into the paint, hit and one's big shots down the stretch of games. This Celtics team is super talented. We've expected them basically every step of the way to get to this point. And the one team that I really worried about out west was the Denver Nuggets, because we didn't have an answer for Nikola Jokic. Al Horford, Porzingis, think that's a terrible matchup for us. But outside of that, I feel very confident about any team that would have came out of the West. Happens to be the Dallas Mavericks. Kyrie Irving's back. Luka Doncic, as P mentioned, is on a path that if he's able to make this underdog kind of victory, because they're underdogs in the series, he's going to be looked at as right up there with Nikola Jokic, 1A, 1B. So you're going up against a phenomenal team who've really been able to hit their stride post-trade deadline. But I'm just excited to see some basketball, man. I'm excited to get the narratives out this way for these 9 days. It's been eating me up inside. But I got Boston in 6.
That's a beautiful breakdown. Pierre, do you have similar reasons for why you think the Celtics are going to win?
Yeah, he hit everything on the head. The main thing for me was the gap defense that the Mavericks play. I mean, you want to root for the Mavericks because of the underdog story, and I personally just love Kyrie. I actually liked him stumping on Lucky. That was
hasn't won since.
That was some Pee Wee the plug type energy. But yeah, the facts are the facts, and the biggest thing for me is the gap defense and the fact that you have 5 shooters out there. I also respect and appreciate the effort and the steps and strides that PJ Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. And even Kyrie and Luka have taken as far as the tenacity they've played with defensively. But no team that they've played, like Dehls has said, they don't have a Jaylen Brown or a Jason Tatum. And the media can say whatever they want about Jason Tatum. They can say whatever they want about the duo of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. But that's just not a wing tandem that you really want to face, especially when you're a team like the Mavericks, who have been a good team, team defending wise. But like Derrick Jones Jr. is supposed to stop Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. I just don't see that, and a lot of it is coming from the gap defense. And if I can kick it out to Derek White, and he's making shots, or Kristaps Porzingis. Al Horford had a game where he went 7 of 12 from 3.
Shout out.
I don't know what you can do with that. And then that's just offense. I don't even want to talk about the defensive prowess that the Boston Celtics can beat you with. They check every box that you would want from a championship team. The only thing that you can maybe say is that, yeah, Porzingis is thin in the front court. Al Horford is, a little older, but they're not playing the Nuggets. So everything should be okay. I definitely want to see the Mavericks put up a fight, but I just think that when you look at the team by team comparison and you're really, doing a proper analysis, and we take any emotion or any, bias that we have, it's hard to look at the Boston Celtics and not pick them, in my opinion.
You feel similarly, Drew?
I do. I actually do. I say that with the idea that this one has been tough for me. Obviously, when the Mavericks were doing their thing against the Wolves, I was going crazy on Twitter. Yeah, this is your NBA champion. But of course, now that Kristaps Porzingis is going to give it a go in game one, it does really become very difficult for the Dallas Mavericks to defend against that. Although, like you've mentioned, and you've said every single time we talk about Dallas Mavericks, I've criminally underrated their defense up until this point. But I don't want to use this series versus the Wolves as a precursor of what they can be. Although, obviously, what an example that was. They put on 4 games of straight excellence. I say that with the idea that you had Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns both struggle. I don't want to say it was the moment for Anthony Edwards, because of course he still had some moments where he was still playing some high level basketball, but we didn't see him be that dominant force that we had seen in round 1 and 2. The closest I can get to where I was trying to convince myself that Dallas could do it was that series versus OKC. But I feel like we've had conversations when it comes to Jalen Williams, when they tried to put him in conversations with Jaylen Brown, he's just not there. And that was unfair to J-Dub, who we're understanding this is an ascending young player, but SGA is a superstar. And he was going out there in every single game, giving them fits. It did not matter. He was sensational. I look at the series versus Boston, and P and Dehls are 100% sound. You have Jason Tatum, who I guess of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum has been the less efficient, but still been able to be a dominant scorer. Just hasn't been as efficient as Jaylen Brown, and Jaylen Brown just making it look so easy at every level. And then you have Drew Holiday, who it was his series last in the ECF, where he was one of the most efficient players that we've seen all playoffs long. Derek White hasn't been that same player that we saw since round 1. But of course, when he's your number 5 option, if Drew Holiday has it going, to me, there's just such a level of dominance in this starting 5 from the Boston Celtics. When it comes to rebounding, yeah, the Dallas Mavericks are great. So are the Boston Celtics. When it comes to being an efficient offense, we've seen Dallas be this amazing efficient offense. We've just seen the Boston Celtics be a little bit more efficient. Now that can also be due to the competition that they face. Obviously, on the Western side, we've seen much better competition, a lot better series. But ultimately, what it comes down to is I believe Boston has too much firepower. I think this is going to be an amazing series. I do believe that this is a 7-game series. This is not to sell Dallas short by any means. I just think that Boston has a little bit more, and they ultimately will be your finals champions.
Hey, Joel.
Yes, Pierre.
The other thing, too, that Drew mentioned slightly is that even when Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns were struggling, the Mavericks were still barely winning those games. They still won. It's not a barely, but it's like,
know what you mean?
You get like,
I got you.
I don't expect that at all from Tatum and Brown. And it's just like that is even something that I'm taking into consideration when I think about that. You like Towns could have played no worse, and those games still required, excellent closeout performances from Luka and Kyrie. One of those games, they needed a step back 3 over Rudy to win. And like when you take that into consideration, it's hard for me to envision Boston having Brown or Tatum perform on an offensive end as poor as Karl Anthony Towns did. And they don't have a Rudy or a Kyle Anderson who you can take Derek Lively off of and have him sit in the paint. Like those things are just too much for me to ignore. My fault, though.
I think you brought an excellent point because the Timberwolves were the first team. I forgot the exact stat, but the first team to be up in all 3 games and lose all those clutch games. They're the first team to go down 0-3 in that manner.
Really?
Yeah.
The Lakers?
I thought Portland did it.
I was going to say the Lakers, but probably he's talking conference finals most likely.
Yeah, Portland in 19.
Really?
I think they were up big.
They were up
Warriors.
double digits going into the second half, but with this exact stat, it was the Timberwolves were up in all 3 games with under like 4 minutes left.
Oh, like
They
in the
just lost,
clutch.
yes.
Oh,
just
okay.
lost.
I was gonna say it can't be in playoff history because we literally just
No,
watched
yeah,
that this
the
postseason
Blazers
with the
were up
Lakers
in
Nuggets.
in 4 straight games. They were up going to the second half. Probably like
I don't know
15.
if y'all was up with like 4 minutes left in all 3 games. Though.
Oh, with 4 minutes left, that's
I
probably
didn't hear
different.
that part.
Facts.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Well, Dehls, you got the Celtics. Drew, you got the Celtics. Pierre, you got the Celtics. Riv, you got the who?
I do think it's interesting. I think both teams haven't played like on opposite ends a team of this caliber. Like Dallas hasn't played any team in the West that has this type of offensive firepower, and I think Boston hasn't been tested like Dallas is going to test them. I think they've been kind of not given the easy road, but unfortunately injuries have hampered their road. And, you got to play who you play. And then with Dallas, there's just with the Clippers, OKC, Minnesota offensively, there's a lot more glaring holes that Kidd was able to exploit defensively. You were right in the beginning. I did question Jason Kidd's defense going into the Clippers series, and then after when they played OKC, Minnesota, I definitely changed my tune. I think for me, I don't know. I guess Kidd, I can see him throwing a lot of zone in this type of series. I don't know if playing, having guys sit in the paint like he does Gafford or Lively with Porzingis out there, who is a stretch big, who can hit the 3-ball. Drew in the corner, Derek White. I don't know if that's the strongest game plan. I reckon Jason Kidd is probably going to force these guys into the mid range, because them going to the rim also. These guys are pretty good at that, especially the Jays. So you kind of have to force them into those tough areas. But if you play zone, I don't know. It's weird. Jason Kidd definitely is going to have to cook up some amazing schemes, which I think he has the brain for it. It's just if they have the personnel for it. And I think that's the biggest thing for me. I think when you have Luka, you have Kyrie out there who have shown that they can defend at a high level in spurts this playoffs. It's good, but I think it's different when you're going up against a team who Drew Holiday is like their 5th best player.
That's
Derek
insane.
White is like their 4th best player. Like it's just, and at any given moment, these guys offensively can go on a tear. And I think with Boston, for me, the only thing that's really held them back has been mentality. And even if you go back to the 2022 finals, right? Boston has literally, like, to beat Boston that year, you needed Steph to go insane. They've gotten better since then. Like, Jason Tatum isn't the same Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown isn't the same. Derek White isn't the same. They went from Marcus Smart to Drew Holiday. They went from Rob Will to freaking Kristaps Porzingis. Like, they've gotten so much better to that point. And that team, you needed an all-time great player to go on an all-time great playoff run. And I think, and I think Luka can do it, but I don't think he's, he hasn't shown that for stretches. He struggled against the Clippers for his standards.
Just talking defense, or you're talking
offensively. Yeah,
okay.
He's a little bit. He struggled efficiency-wise for his standards.
His first great series was Minnesota.
Yes, for sure. And I think
that defense is unbelievable.
But I think Boston gives them a different look defensively because they're not big oriented. They can switch 1 through 5.
Fair.
They're a lot faster. They're a lot quicker on the perimeter. They have smaller guys, yes, and Drew Holiday and Derek White. But I think that's why I talked about it before. Like that kind of, I don't know if Kyrie's going to struggle per se because he has these moments where he's just not taking shots and then he can go in a heater for like 5 minutes, but I think Boston kind of has the personnel where they're like going to blitz a lot. They're going to have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who are bigger, stronger guys. They can maybe hold up against Luka. But I do have Boston in 6. I just think they're the most talented team in the league. They have the best starting 5 in the league by far, and they're one of the best shooting teams in the league. And I think offensively, they just have too many strengths to. I don't think Kidd is going to have the personnel to exploit that.
Dehls,
talk to me.
What is the feeling that you get inside your chest when you look at this shirt?
What?
2022 NBA Finals shirt. Steph Curry versus Jason Tatum. What's the feeling that you get?
Wasn't JT's wasn't his brightest moment.
Not by
How do you feel?
He played Draymond.
How do you feel? That's what I really want to know.
I feel like he's getting a second chance, as he mentioned.
Is the feeling redemption
For JT?
for the team as a whole, not just Jason Tatum, just the team as a whole?
It's not even redemption. I think it's just getting over the hump.
It's 100% redemption.
It's redemption.
coronation almost?
Say it again.
So a coronation, would you say?
Because we've been begging them every single year, win the championship, because even the 2022 finals, outside of JT, because JT gets shit on, I think deservedly, he played terrible. I don't think a lot of people hold that against them. Like, how did you lose that series to the Warriors? It's not like they were up 3-0, 3-1, like they were these super heavy favorites. They were actually underdogs going to Vegas in that series. So I think this is finally like they're coming to light moment for the team.
I don't think they hold it against the Celtics. They hold it against JT.
For sure.
I do
Absolutely.
think they hold it against
I think that's valid.
If he played regular and y'all lost, he wouldn't have got as much slack. He played like shit.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
whenever teams make the finals and they lose and they come back into the finals, it kind of feels like a get back moment. And the Celtics, they've been an elite team all season long. Best record in the NBA, 60 plus wins, 5th best point differential all time. This is a historic team, like an all-time great team. And I ain't kind of like Drew, where you think about it. The more you think about it, there's a long period between the end of the WCF and the finals.
It was a while.
You think about it, and you start wondering, it's going to take a lot for the Mavericks to beat the Boston Celtics. It is. Riv mentioned it. This is the best team that they're going to run into. The Celtics are a different animal. They're not OKC. They're not Minnesota. And they're not the Clippers, most definitely not the Clippers. So it becomes tough when you look at the biggest strength of the Mavericks has been their rim protection.
Yep.
And the Celtics can force them to guard the perimeter. If not, they probably go into zone, and now there's going to be gaps in the zone that you can exploit. There's a lot of advantages to the Celtics side. And after thinking about it long and hard, I can't go Mavericks in 6. And this is a rare pick a side moment in history where, I mean, we have Pierre on as a guest, and Pierre picked the Celtics. You picked the Celtics. You picked the Celtics. Dehls picked the Celtics. And God damn it, I'm picking the Mavericks in 7.
Okay.
I'm picking the Mavericks.
I knew
in
it. He said I can't pick Mavs in 6. I was like, all right, he's gonna pick him in 7. Okay, respect that.
In order to beat an all-time great team, you need an all-time great player. I think Luka is that all-time great player.
Yeah.
I think Luka and Kyrie, if they win this ring, can go down as an all-time great duo. I think that Jason Kidd will scheme something up defensively so he can play to his strengths. I think offensively.
Wait,
what?
You think one ring puts you as like an all-time great duo?
Would
they
you say
not be?
LeBron and Kyrie, like they don't get talked about as like one of the better duos in NBA
I mean, if you think
history?
about the duos with Magic and Kareem, got like 3, 4.
Agreed.
MJ and Pippen have 6.
You can have multiple all-time greats.
Shaq and
Dang,
Kobe.
can they get some time?
that's what I was asking for. Like, can we just get
It's a great path. I mean, if they win a
It's
ring,
their second year.
it puts
They
them.
did make the
Kyrie's
playoffs. last year.
33.
It puts them very high.
This
it does.
this run was good. I wouldn't put them all
Very
time.
high, okay.
How is
I'm not-
how
you
high
can
is very
argue.
high?
I'm
if they win this ring, duo, there's a lot of duos.
There
There's
are
a lot.
a lot.
Backcourt, number 1.
What?
Clay?
What are we doing?
From a talent perspective, I think
Stop saying
Luka
that.
and
That's
Kyrie
not-
is
no.
over Steph and Clay.
All right. If he says talent perspective,
That's
Still not valid with you.
No, it's no. We can't just
because
always.
that's the only way that statement's valid
we
at all.
can't just always say just because they're more talented that means they're over them
Mhm.
all time. If you're talking all time, then talent is out the window. That's probably
Okay.
the least important thing in terms of all time. We're talking all time.
But them
It's
as a
okay.
duo is 1-1 in the finals. Them
Who?
as a duo, Clay and Curry.
No, that's not true.
How?
Them
But
as a
once they got
duo-
Kevin
they're
Durant,
1-1.
that's
That's
what I
what
said.
he said.
Oh,
That's what I
apologize.
said.
I thought you
You
said
said
only.
backcourt.
You-
No, you said backcourt first.
He
I
did say
did.
backcourt.
I
So
did.
backcourt, Steph and Clay have 4 rings.
He's
Kevin
right.
Durant got there, bro. No,
You can't.
Come
No,
on.
you said
Clay
backcourt.
was the
backcourt.
Clay was the fourth most important player on that team.
If you would
Come on, what are
have
talking
stuck
about?
with duo,
No.
Even
he would have
duos
been
now
valid.
are KD clear, and that's a fact.
Bro, Luka and Curry cancel out.
No, that's
duo.
not,
No,
no.
even duo's not valid because if you what do you
Steph and
think?
KD clear.
No, by
duo.
far.
That's not even
By
close.
far.
No,
A
I never
backcourt
said-
is a duo, by the way, y'all. A backcourt is
I
a
know.
duo.
I agree.
Steph and KD, you got that. I mean, Steph and KD,
But-
those are 2 MVP
But
players.
you know about backcourt, Steph and Clay forward.
But if he's saying
won
talent wise,
70 games
if he's
in the
saying
season.
talent wise, though, he's right.
They lost that
Talent wise,
championship.
I'm fine.
And the
But
first
if that's what you
championship,
wanna use,
they
that's cool. We
only
can-
won because
talent-wise, you
the
can
Cavs
find a
were
lot
injured.
of duos that are talented.
But not Luka and Kyrie.
No, of course not. They're probably the most talented ever.
That's exactly his statement.
That's not. No, he said all time duo.
You just said ever though. No.
He said all
no.
time
He said
duo.
backcourt.
No, he
At
changed it.
first, I said duo, but I never prefaced it by saying number 1. I just
Correct.
said one of the
He
all-time
said,
great duos.
In terms of backcourt,
Oh,
number
all-
one most
All
talented.
time. No. He said in terms
He
of
said
backcourt,
both.
all time duo. That's
Yes.
my pushback.
One of is fine. One of you could be 13. You're
One of is cool.
Who's the number 1?
I felt
backcourt?
that he meant. I felt that he meant like not the best. I mean, Michael Jordan. He knows who Michael Jordan is.
Of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
listen, hold up.
That's why I asked.
When he,
In
when he
turn-
said duos, he said one of.
We're
All
going
right,
Yeah,
I'm with
one
you.
of.
we gonna get to duos
Yes.
next segment. We're gonna
Yeah,
elaborate on everything
I'm
we're
just
talking
asking
about.
questions here. I just want to ask.
Well,
I wanted to know
good.
why you picked Mavs.
I'm
Seven.
glad. I'm
still-
glad. Yeah, I'm trying to get
Okay,
to
well,
that.
Big Mac.
And then
I
I,
don't
then
know.
I, then
I
I
was
had Riv.
I was waiting to hear
Interrupt me.
what
Rude
Jason
me.
Kidd is going to scheme up here.
I think
here all time. I
The
get
only way you can go Mavs and Senators if you think Tatum doesn't play good.
every single series, Jason Kidd has adjusted to the offensive personnel of the other team, whether it's been the Clippers, it's been OKC, funneling mid-range shots to SGA, whether it's been Minnesota. A big reason Anthony Edwards struggled in that series was because of the Mavericks defense and the schematics that they played on him. I think playing OKC has prepared them somewhat to go up against Boston because OKC is a 5-out offense. And OKC had a lot of minutes out there where it was SGA, Isaiah Joe, J-Dub, Chet, and someone like Aaron Wiggins or Lou Dort, and they could play a 5-out lineup. Now, they were leaving Lou Dort open. I don't think the Celtics have a weakness like Lou Dort on their team.
Okay.
But with that being said, it helped them prepare for stretch bigs. Chet Holmgren's a stretch big. Cat in a conference finals is a stretch big. And I think defensively, you could play in a zone. Daniel Gafford in these playoffs has been the #1 rim protector in the playoffs by defensive field goal percentage. Derek Lively has been #4. Both of them have been great. I don't think Jason Kidd is going to concede and say, we're just going to remove our rim protectors and let them guard the perimeter. I think he will find a way to make them stay where their strengths are at. And what they have done all playoffs long is that they have forced teams to settle. And when I think about Boston, as great as their offense looks when they're hitting threes at a high clip, it is just unbelievable. They are a team that has a habit of settling for tougher shots than they need to take, especially Jason Tatum. Amongst all players in the playoffs, he's the worst at pull-up 2-point jump shots in the playoffs, shooting 33% on them. He is having a slump from 3 right now. He is somebody that I think he plays well. I don't know if he plays like the best player in the series. I don't think that's the case. But we've also seen in the past players on the Boston, not in the team specifically, but in other situations, not play the best, like Drew Holiday. Like Drew Holiday in other situations and other teams, he has not played the best in the playoffs. A lot
more offensive.
It is.
Argue, though,
Milwaukee, they was treating him like the second best guy.
Unless you want to say the series versus the Blazers when he was on the Pelicans is his best playoff series, you could say that this series versus the Pacers was his best performance overall.
Yeah, and I understand the whole argument about the load. Defensively, it's going to be hard to stop Boston. There's no doubt. But offensively, they can't stop Dallas. They can't.
Really?
Boston can't stop Dallas.
I don't know about the can't.
They just went up against the #1 defense in the league, and they did everything: drop coverage, blitzing, putting 2 on the ball, switching, and they could not stop them. Luka Doncic is a different type of level of offensive player. Derek White, Drew are too small. Yeah. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, those are the best matchups for him. But Luka just had his way against Jaden McDaniels, who is arguably one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. And when you're in that pick and roll situation and he can put you in jail, or when you switch and you're getting somebody like KP or one of the smaller guys on Luka, it just creates such a big advantage for Dallas. I think that Dallas will be able to stay afloat with the Celtics in this series. There might be some blowouts. It's going to be a 7-game series. That's what I'm predicting. But I think ultimately it's going to come down to the wire. Clutch time offense. While the Celtics have been 4-0 in clutch time offense in the playoffs, plus 43 net rating, some of that is diluted with the opponents they face. In the regular season, the Mavericks were a better clutch offense, had a better clutch rating. And when it comes to the final minutes, I'm trusting Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving more than I'm trusting the Celtics.
Question. Do you think, 2 questions. Do you think Minnesota, like I know they're the #1 defense, but you don't think Minnesota has more weaknesses to exploit in their 5-out, in their starting 5? Like you have Conley, who's too small. I think Drew and Derek are short, but I think they're all big. Like they're all, if we're low
Derek
key,
White is not.
No, not Derek White, but I think Drew, Jalen, and Tatum low-key are all bigger than Jaden McDaniels.
I think the Timberwolves have a better overall defense, especially for specific matchups like the Nuggets, for example. That's why they beat them. I don't think Boston could have been a really tough series. But I think for the Mavericks, I think Celtics are probably the toughest defense they're going to go up against, although Minnesota had been all-world this series, or this round. I don't give them,
McDaniels is a little skinny.
But I was going to say, Riv, how many times did you sit and tell me that Dort would be a better matchup for Luka because Dort is stronger than
he was.
But Dort is stronger than Drew Holiday too. He's built like a linebacker.
But Jaden is the smallest out of all of them.
Jaylen Brown's probably stronger than Jaden. Jason Tatum's probably stronger than Jaden.
Derek White and Drew Holiday, what I'm saying on Luka is a liability.
Drew Holiday, I can't do that
I
either.
understand what you're saying, though. I do understand.
Luka has
also in the playoffs.
Luka has
say,
no, he has.
We haven't seen that too.
No, I agree. It's just hard to say Drew's a liability. So
I think. Well, the difference between Boston and Minnesota, I just think, is the front court. One has Cat, and then another one has Jason Tatum. That's the difference, and that's why.
And Porzingis and Rudy.
Yeah, but I think Rudy is better than KP defensively.
Easily, but also it becomes so much more difficult to guard the Celtics.
They didn't have to guard Rudy.
They really did.
Yeah, but we talking about the Celtics defense versus the Mavs offense.
But at the same time, but you mentioned Cat, how the Mavs have already dealt with Chet. They've dealt with Cat. But in that situation, yeah, you had Cat that could stretch. You had Nas that could stretch. But most likely, Rudy's on the court with one of those two guys. It becomes a lot.
Now you got Kyle Anderson out there. You got, what
was the lineup that you mentioned to me?
Kyle Anderson, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Jaden McDaniels, and Rudy, and I think Ant.
Yeah, of course. I think Minnesota's offense, they held them back. There's no doubt about that. And the Celtics don't have that same type of offensive liability. There's no question. But I do think, and I do trust Jason Kidd to adjust his defense and to play to the Mavericks' strength. They're going to mix it up a lot against Boston. And before you go, Pierre, well, we're all saying at this table, well, y'all have said, and I agree with it, the Mavericks have not seen a defense or an offense like Boston.
Well, it goes both ways.
For sure.
It does go both ways.
For sure.
Because I think what Boston is seeing in Dallas far outweighs offensively and defensively more than anything Boston has seen in their East playoff run.
Absolutely. I understand your point.
No debate.
From a half-court perspective, yes.
Go ahead, Pete.
The Indiana offense was pretty good. I was going to say the Indiana offense was pretty amazing.
No, they're great.
My question was just for Joel. With all of the trust with the Mavericks to pick them, where is the distrust in the Celtics, I guess, besides the clutch time? Because, I mean, they're so much better than all of the teams that they played, and I don't think that's anything against them. They did what they were supposed to do. They handled their business. If they didn't handle their business, then we would come up here and say, man, I don't know. They won 7 games with the Pacers. So it goes back to the point that I always get to with the Celtics is they kind of in a lose-lose.
A lose-lose meaning
when they handle business, it's like they ain't played against nobody. If they weren't to handle their business and they went 7 games or something with one of these teams, then you would say that you don't trust them because they shouldn't go far into a series with the Pacers. So what could they have done to make you feel any confidence in them?
There's no doubt that they're in a lose-lose, especially in the East. They were in lose-lose. And that's largely due to the fact that statistically, factually, they had the easiest run to the finals of any team in the last 40 years. That's just what it is. They handled business, and they're in the finals now. The Indiana series, they were great in the clutch. You can argue it shouldn't have been that close, but neither here or there. They handled their business in the clutch. My distrust comes from the fact that they have a negative record against the top 4 teams in the Western Conference this season, against the top 4.
But Joel, clearly all of that shit, it goes out of the window. Because
I think when it comes to against Denver,
Clippers, remember that ass?
Yeah, that's 3 L's right there that don't really matter because it's not these teams.
I mean, of course, but I'm just saying when they have faced the top teams in the West, they have looked human.
This statement's a double-edged sword. This
one for each trade deadline,
right? It's a double-edged sword because he could just say to you, the game that the Celtics absolutely spanked that ass. Derek really wasn't playing. Gaffer really didn't play that much in that game. It's a much different game, which is why I'm glad none of us really mentioned the 2 games before.
Regular season. It really doesn't matter. Timberwolves after regular season.
It does not matter.
Thank you, Dehls. Thank you.
But ultimately, here's the thing, Pierre. The Celtics are in the lose-lose unless they win a championship.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter what they have done.
That's been all season long. It's been since October.
They got to win a championship.
Agreed, but I feel like that's not P's question, though. P's question is
where's the distrust? It's not much the distrust in the Celtics because these are 2 elite teams going at it. It's my trust in Luka Doncic and the Mavericks in the clutch.
Have more trust.
It's just Luka. Like Luka's just
that's all I wanted to hear.
That's the guy. So it's my trust in the Mavericks. It's my trust that they'll get it done. And Pierre, you mentioned something earlier about how the Mavericks, they're winning ugly, and I agree. But man, do they win ugly more than any team in the league right now? Because they have won whether they've been down in games, they were down double digits to OKC. They came back and they won in game 5, I believe.
Yeah.
They have won ugly all playoffs long, and they find a way to stay in games. An interesting stat: only 3 players in the Mavericks playoff run currently are averaging double figures. That's Luka, that's Kyrie, that's PJ Washington. Which means this team is largely carried by the 2 guys at the top, but it also speaks to the individualized, specified roles that all of these guys play. I mean, Derrick Jones Jr., how he slashes to the basket, how he rebounds the ball, how he plays defense. PJ Washington hits timely 3-point shots in the clutch when you need them. Lively and Gafford offer elite rim protection. They got wild cards off the bench like Kleba, Josh Green. And I think in this series specifically, I think Jaden Hardy, who played really well in the conference finals, I think he can have a little bit of a coming out party and make a huge difference in his minutes. The Celtics have been the worst pick and roll defense in the playoffs
because of Horford.
Horford, we know, is going to get minutes though in this series.
Absolutely. Let him retire.
Kristaps Porzingis is the wild card for me, and that's where this is where I'll say there's some distrust with the Celtics. More so, Kristaps Porzingis' health. He's playing his first playoff game in the finals since the first round of the playoffs. This is somebody who historically really doesn't have much playoff experience. He was in 2 series with the Mavericks. First one was great. Second one, he was god awful. Porzingis, coming from a lower leg injury, a big guy like that, he's going to be on a minutes restriction. Offensively, I think he'll be fine. I think the shot is not going to leave you. But defensively, having to move out in space like that, the Mavericks very early and often are going to put him into a lot of stressful actions, and they're going to see how much he can handle it early on. And this is just my prediction, and this is a reason I'm picking the Mavericks to win in 7. I don't think Kristaps Porzingis has a good series. I think he's going to play poorly in this series.
I think it's going to be really important for PJ and Derek this series. Of course, Luka and Kyrie, you know what they're going to do, but I'm expecting Boston to. They might start with Al or Porzingis. I'm not sure who's going to start. My inclination is Porzingis, just kind of the way they've been talking about him. But regardless, I think they're going to start with big on big, whether that's Porzingis or Al Horford on Lively or Gafford. And eventually, like we saw in that Pacers series, I think Tatum moves on to the 5 because I think you're going to have a lot of actions where you're going to have Gafford or Lively coming up for that
Tatum
pick and roll.
To the 5, it's over.
Why?
They're going to kill.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what we saw in the Indiana series. I think like in game 1 around halftime, if I remember correctly. But if you're gonna have Porzingis or the big on Derek and PJ, then that changes a lot of things because they need to hit those shots if they're gonna have pick and pops. Because PJ's phenomenal corner shooter. I think he's around like 39%. I want to say, but top of the break, like top of the key, he's around 29%. So if you're gonna have pick and pops with those 2 guys, because you want to bring Porzingis and you want to bring Al into those actions, they got to hit those shots.
Let me ask this question to everyone on the panel. When was the last time we saw someone just so overwhelmingly great that they beat a better team?
LeBron in 2016.
And Kyrie 2022.
Was that Warriors team just flat out better?
Wait, I thought you were saying Boston was better.
No.
Like the opposite team was better?
Correct.
So Boston,
the underdog
beats the favorite because they're just one.
2012.
The one that comes to
Miami.
mind.
2016 too, but I think y'all became extreme underdogs 3-1. I don't think y'all were insane underdogs.
I'm fine with that. The one that comes to mind immediately would be the Mavericks in 2011. That's the last one that I
saw this thing pop up today, and they had the odds of teams that were under, and they won. I think OKC, Miami. Miami was an insane underdog in 2012,
that's insane,
and they ended up winning.
It's rude.
OKC was just great.
Would you guys be surprised if Boston wins in 5?
Oh, I'd be really surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
If that happens, Porzingis is 100%. I think that's really the only way they win in 5. And
you also got the best version of Tatum too.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Tatum, and Tatum is like, he really like
preseason MVP pick.
It's because it's like Tatum is a funny dude because like he can play like shit offense, like as a scorer, but like he's such a good playmaker, such a good rebounder, such a great defender. It's like he's gonna. Like, yeah, he can play bad.
He's going to contribute another way.
Yeah, it's like his 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 could be like 22 points, 12 rebounds, and like 9 assists, right? So it's like, this guy, man, can't keep stinking up.
He just needs to get the shots. He was great. He's been great at the rim. I think
he's that jumper. That shit is up.
Just get to 35. Yeah. Just get to 30.
Hey, I'll tell you what, he's due. He's due.
He is. I don't know. Like I said, it would hurt me, Riv, if it went 5 because I'm rooting for the Mavericks. But when I just look at the basketball stuff, we can sit up here and say the Mavericks are the best team that the Celtics have faced thus far, and they ain't seen nobody as good as them. I could tell you one thing for sure. The Boston Celtics are nowhere near any team that the Mavericks have faced. That's just a fact. The teams, we can find a team that the Celtics have faced, and they'll be a lot closer to Dallas than the opposite. If you get what I'm saying.
That's not true.
The Boston
Celtics, Dallas just faced the number one defense in the league.
And the Celtics were way better than them. Nobody has been by the Celtics at all during the regular season.
Let me ask you a question.
Boston was so far
ahead of the league. Has Boston played a team as good as OKC this playoffs?
No, but nobody in the NBA has been close to them. That's my point. They're not going to play anybody close to them.
Boston has been a far and away with the best team in the league.
I thought your point. I thought your question was that
they were up like 13 games on the next best team.
The next best team. The whole year they've ran the course. They've ran the course. So when you mention certain things that the Timberwolves did and other series that the Celtics, oh man, I mean the Mavericks, man, they beat this team, they did that. Look how they guarded Shea. Man, listen, none of those teams are near the Celtics in my opinion. J-Dub, he's not a Jaylen Brown dog. Please cut it out. Let's stop it.
Yes.
The best team that would have made me feel a little different would have been the Nuggets because they had the experience. They would have had to.
Dallas did it.
But again,
Denver would have beat Dallas.
That matchup really.
No, they wouldn't.
Denver would have.
They don't have any
Denver would have beat Dallas.
I mean, I don't want to get into some.
It's a hypothetical.
Yeah, I don't want to get.
Yeah, y'all are bugging by saying what they would, but the Nuggets would have been the heavy favorite over the Dallas Mavericks.
The Timberwolves were the favorite over Dallas too. OKC was too, and Dallas beat both of them. And I thought Dallas
would have been favorites over everybody.
You know what? I thought
it's
Dallas
matchup based.
Denver would have been close. Yeah.
Matchup based.
I know everything is matchup based. I thought Dallas they beat OKC convincingly. I thought they beat them convincingly.
Yeah, they did.
There were some close games, but they beat them convincingly. Versus Minnesota,
came back from like 18 that last game.
That's tough.
But I know what you're saying.
I do know what you mean.
I can't.
And against Minnesota,
OKC was a good series.
He's not saying it's a bad series though. He's just saying that
they beat them, and that's it. You don't have to worry about that. There was a question
against Minnesota. Minnesota was up late in the fourth quarters. That's a fact. Yes. But every game I watched, starting from game one, I thought Dallas was the better team.
Yes.
From beginning to end.
You know why you thought that though? Because of the matchup. Going into the series, you did not think that. I know for a fact you didn't think that because you went with some shit that didn't matter, which is the same thing you're doing in the finals. I don't give a damn about what
is it? What is it? Hold on. What is it?
You picked Minnesota.
I picked Minnesota. I did pick Minnesota.
That's what he's saying.
Right. No, but I picked Minnesota because of Luka's injury and him going into the series. I wasn't sure because it's coming off OKC where he struggled.
I'm pretty sure you weighed a lot of that on their number one defense too. Let's be real.
Yeah, their number one defense, but most
they just beat the Nuggets.
And you was living off of that.
What would you say about Edwards?
Great run. No, but
we all picked Minnesota. I'm not saying nothing against you,
but a lot of it was Luka's injury. Minnesota, though, I thought was the better team. There's no doubt about that. But ultimately, what you said, where you were wrong, you said Boston has faced more teams in the East that stack up.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
That's what that's what it sounded like to me for a second.
He's saying
that's not what I said.
He's saying you can probably find a team in the East that are closer to the teams Dallas played as opposed to finding somebody that's closer to Boston because they were so far ahead of the league.
No, you can't.
No, he's just saying Dallas. Boston.
I don't know how you can.
You
go off of everything that happened in the regular season. You telling me about defense and shit that happened in the 2 seasons? What team has been close? What team in the NBA? Forget East, forget West. Name me a team in the fucking NBA that was close to the Celtics in any fucking margin this entire season, including the playoffs. You can't.
Celtics are number one.
They've been better than everybody by far.
That's not what
are we talking about? That is. How are you telling me
what Riv just said was what he was saying.
Telling me what I am saying? If you misinterpret it, if I said it in a way where you misinterpret it, that's different.
Correct.
But now I'm telling you what I'm saying to re-clarify, and you're still going to tell me what I'm saying.
So ultimately, your reasoning for picking Boston is they've been
they're
by
the
far
best
team in the
fucking
league. That's
team.
why.
That's what
That's
I go
why.
off
That's
of.
why
I go
you're
off who's the
picking-
better
that's-
team.
Hold up.
Who's always the better
We're
team?
on the same page.
I don't
We're
give
on the
a
same page.
I don't
We're on the same
I
page.
didn't give a fuck about what Anthony Edwards did that was so sexy in the media.
You're not talking
Oh
about
man, he's the
Anthony
next
Edwards
Michael
right now.
Jordan.
You're not
That's
talking
why I
about
didn't pick them
You're
over the
talking-
Mavericks.
so
You did
you're
because you
picking-
fell for that shit, not me.
You're picking the Celtics because they've been the best team by far. Ultimately, what you're saying is that Dallas hasn't faced a team like Boston in the playoffs. Boston hasn't faced a team like Dallas in the playoffs either. They have not faced a defense like Dallas in the playoffs either. What are you talking about?
Me and Dehls told you why we picked the Celtics. We gave you a clear breakdown.
Thank you.
We gave you a clear breakdown. We checked boxes on why we picked the Celtics. So miss me with that. My point is the shit that you're saying, it don't add up. And that's why when you were saying, man, I ain't gonna be able to pick him at 6. I was ready to give you a round of applause and say I'm proud of you because you don't have to go out on the ledge by being so different.
So what's going to happen when the Mavericks win the series? What's going to happen when the Mavericks win the series?
Shit, this is reminiscent of 2 years ago when I was the only one picking
Let's put $1,000 bet on it.
He loves putting the rap.
Let's put $1,000 on it.
Bet on it.
Let's put $250. Let's put anything on it. Let's put a bet that don't even have no monetary gain. Let's do something where one of us will have to do something in Vegas. Let's put our actions to match our words.
I see. This is coming back full circle. Ultimately,
let's
Pierre.
put something to no. Ultimately, I'll put something out there for you because you have to live on what you're saying. You do this shit where like you try to go for this home run thing, and if you hit it, it's like, oh man, look.
It was like when you thought Ben Simmons was better than Luka, and you was damn wrong.
I've never told you that Ben Simmons was better than Luka. I've never told you that Ben Simmons was better than Luka.
I picked the
They were
Mavericks.
comparing a rookie Ben Simmons, a rookie Luka to Ben Simmons. The point is, everything
is in the WCF too. I picked the Mavericks. I've been with the Mavericks all year long. I picked them to beat the finals. So it's not like you telling me I fell for something.
I picked the Mavericks to go to the finals.
But again, where
the Mavericks was picked by me to beat the Timberwolves. What are you talking about?
All right, he has a good
talking about. You did not. You can go to my YouTube, and all my shit is fat. You can go to my YouTube channel. My shit is there. The hottest team going to the playoffs.
You didn't pick them to beat the Wolves because the Wolves had just come off a very impressive showing against the Nuggets. The Nuggets, who we all believed were just going to go to the finals, were going to beat Boston. They were just the favorites. They had just upset the Nuggets. And on top of it, Luka Doncic had not been playing his best brand of basketball. Plus, the Wolves were the number one defense. Anthony Edwards had been playing unbelievable basketball. And Karl Anthony Towns hadn't been so bad himself. There was logic, but at the same time, you did pick against them. You thought that the Wolves were playing.
And by no means am I saying that I'm 100% from the field. I missed picks too. Going into the playoffs, at the start of the playoffs, I don't think I had Dallas going to the NBA Finals. But when we talk about the matchups that they got, ever since they passed the Clippers, I picked them in every round. Every round.
So you picked the Clippers against them?
Because I thought Kawhi Leonard was going to be healthy, and I stick on.
Oh, he got you. So you got.
I don't move my picks.
You got. That's what you're telling me.
I don't move my picks.
Drew, you just said
I stand on my word.
All the reasons as to why Minnesota could have beat Dallas. We passed that series.
Okay.
Just because I was wrong on the series, and so were all you, because all you guys picked Minnesota. And Minnesota was the favorite.
Hey, listen,
that does not mean it's a got you moment. Ultimately, those games came down to the wire, and Dallas had a better game plan.
Can we talk about?
It's not a got you moment, Joel. You don't have to do that.
I want to talk about the NBA Finals. I don't want to talk about what Dallas did against Minnesota. What Dallas did against all these teams. I want to know what Dallas can do against Boston to exploit them.
Which is my main question.
You said there's nothing that I mentioned. I mentioned the Celtics have had the worst pick and roll defense, and what is Dallas? They're a pick and roll heavy offense. Is that not something that favors Dallas's offense in this matchup?
But that goes back to
the defense have 2 losses.
But they're not. They haven't faced a team like Dallas. They haven't faced a defense like Dallas.
They haven't win because Minnesota couldn't beat Dallas. Boston's going to win because Tatum is better than Ant-Man. He's going to show up. Zinger.
And it's also because you can trust Jaylen Brown. Your best argument was that you think that KP is going to have a bad series. That honestly, I was waiting for you to tell me that you don't trust Jason Tatum.
If y'all all think that the Celtics are winning in 6 games, that means you think it's going to to the length. If
Again,
you're picking Celtics,
you
I'm
can't
not
do that.
saying
You
that,
just
though.
said no, fuck that. Now I'm back. You just said that Dallas beat OKC convincingly, and it went 6 games. So how if they go 6 games in this series, it goes to length? That doesn't make sense.
so you think if the Celtics beat the Mavericks, it will be convincingly?
No. I'm not saying that. But
No,
that's
I'm
what you
asking
say.
you.
I don't know.
Things can be different. There's certain 6-game series that yes, they're dominant. There's some that are really close. There's variance
if
in everything.
Porzingis is healthy, Boston can beat them in 5
But
games.
that's a what?
All right,
That's
then,
a
if
what?
that's the case,
That's a what? That's an
if you're
unknown
gonna
right
tell
now.
me
Wait
that
till
there's
game
some
1.
6-game series that are close, then yeah, I'm gonna go back to saying that OKC series was actually close because it came down to a final free throw from Dallas to close that in 6.
I mean, you can say
I would
that.
say that too, Drew. When he said convincingly, I kind of got what he was saying. I didn't
I
think
did
it was
too.
like they mopped the floor, but
They were the better team.
They did their thing. Convincingly, if we being real and we focusing on the word, convincingly would probably match more the Timberwolves series. They went up 3-0, even though it was close. They had a 3-0 lead. That's way more convincing than a little bit of the back and forth that them and the Thunder had. There was a point right there where it did go 2-2. That's pretty. That's as even as you can get 4 games into a series versus being down 3-0.
My whole point is that you are acting as if there are no reasons why Dallas can win
That's
this
not what
series.
I'm doing. That's not
false.
what I'm doing, Joe.
That's false.
You're just saying
Joe,
more
that's not what I'm
weaknesses
doing. I just asked you a question because the Boston Celtics have been head and shoulders against everybody. And you're telling me about the pick and roll defense, but I'm showing you that you went into the last series thinking about the Timberwolves' #1 defense, and we've seen that matchups and all of these different things, they negate those things. That's why the playoffs are the best thing, because you can't go in here and say, hey, man, they was the #1 defense. That #1 defense didn't really matter. All regular season, we talked about there is not an answer for the Nuggets. The Nuggets, they looking like the favorite, and then the Timberwolves showed us, hey, there is an answer. And even in that series, they went down 2-0. Everybody was popping their shit. And what did they do? They won 3 games in a row and had everybody now. Oh, here go the Nuggets again. Like all of that shit kind of just goes out of the window. Was my main point. We can go in and we can talk about what a team did here, what a team did there, and ain't nothing wrong with giving a team they respect. And you got to talk about certain things about them, but to base the entire series off of it is just a crazy thing. Which is why I'm telling you, there is no way, shape, or form why I sat up here and told you I got the Celtics because they was better than everybody in the NBA. Me and Dehls at the beginning of the show literally ran through boxes. He checked so many boxes. I didn't even really need to say much. But to say that I tried to tell you that they're going to win because they was the best team in the NBA, that's some bullshit. The footage here on the show will literally show you that I did not say that.
I never said that the Mavericks are going to win based off the series that they've played before. All of your supporting statements came from some things that I think are just kind of hard to use because like what? Give me an example.
Like the pick and roll defense. We don't know how that's going to play out. You can say that, but just like the Timberwolves, you picked the Timberwolves because of that defense, and that defense didn't really fucking matter against the Mavericks.
Wait, so you think an educated guess to me would say that the Mavericks
the best thing you said is that you trust Luka Doncic more than you trust Jason Tatum.
Luka Doncic is also trusting the pick and roll.
You just said something that didn't make sense about the pick and roll. Like, what do you mean? It's an educated guess that the Mavericks will play well against the worst pick and roll defense in the playoffs. That's a fact. That's facts. Luka has played well in the pick and roll against every team in his career.
You're showing my point. And how many rings does he have?
Oh, so now we're talking about rings.
But that's
why.
But that's
because he hasn't been on a situation. It's been a
Riv. Am I bugging Riv?
No, I don't think so.
Your face said you reacting to something. Can you tell me what you're reacting to?
Now rings matter.
You brought up rings as it pertains to this conversation.
The reason I brought up rings is because you just made my point. He's played against every pick and roll defense amazingly, right?
Yes.
And where has that gotten him thus far?
It's gotten him to 2 conference finals,
right? In
his short career. He's won a lot. What do you mean? This is by far the best. This is by far the best team he had.
I don't know. I feel like this is
so you're telling me you're knocking Luka's pick and roll mastery because he hasn't won a championship yet?
I've been doing this shit a very long time. What you're not gonna be able to do is manipulate words and shit. Nothing that I just said knock Luka, bro. Knock it the fuck off, please. What did I say that knocked Luka?
Well, you're kind of.
What did I say that knocked Luka?
It hasn't translated to winning.
That's not that y'all. You know what the problem is?
Y'all
are so take thirsty that y'all don't even know how to process shit. Get the fuck off of a take. I'm not making a take. We're having a conversation. I brought up rings because you said he's faced everything and handled it so well. So I'm saying he can even handle this Boston team pick and roll defense well, and it still may not lead to him winning a series because we've seen that before in his career. It's a whole game to be played. You're talking about one facet of the fucking game against the best team. What are you talking about?
I think this team is great.
Luka Doncic could have a phenomenal playoff performance against this Boston Celtics in this series, and they still can lose. Correct. That's the fucking point that I'm making. Not about the rings.
He can also in the same bracket.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about, man?
He can also play well and win the series. What are you talking about?
Puncher's chance.
It's a puncher's chance. They get a puncher's chance because they're here.
Listen, they're underdogs. They're not plus 10,000 to win the series. They got a chance to win. I think the reason you got a chance to win is because Luka Doncic has proven up to this point that he's in different tier than Jason Tatum.
I understand the whole they not plus 10,000. Y'all gotta understand people who make these bet odds probably don't watch basketball. So
it's numbers based.
It's like people. If you ask, you put 100 basketball.
These companies are making billions of dollars. They're doing something right.
If you ask 100 people that know ball in a room, I don't think 20 or 30 of them are going to pick Dallas.
Well, I think a lot of reasons why people are taking
unbelievable amount of bets that
a lot of people are taking Dallas, in my opinion, because they don't like Boston.
I agree.
They want to see Boston lose. They want to see this thing fail. They hate Tatum. A lot of people, in my opinion, who don't have to go out there and put a face on it, or just saying, I think Dallas is going to win because they hate Boston. Yes. I think if you have you got to put your life on it. You got to put $100 on it. Who's going to win this series? You put 30 people in a room. I think 20 people are probably taking the Celtics.
Sure. My only gripe is that using Luka has been great throughout his career. Yes, in the pick and roll. And you're saying that doesn't mean he's going to win the finals. I agree with that. It doesn't mean he's going to win, but ultimately, he has not been surrounded with the team.
I agree.
To win.
This is the
first time he's been surrounded with the roster.
I'm gonna try my best right now to make the argument for Dallas.
So it just makes no sense to say Luka Doncic. He could very well, even with how great he's been in the pick and roll, it does not matter against Boston. Ultimately, the whole point is that Luka is great in the pick and roll against Boston's defense, and that's something that you can exploit in the series. And I don't care how great Boston's defense has been. I think the Mavericks offense will play well.
I'm not upset if we just keep talking about the finals. This is the biggest topic of the show. That's fine. The argument that you can make for the Mavericks that would be a little bit more sound is, yes, Luka Doncic is the best player in this series. You can argue, hey, they might have the third best player in this series in Kyrie Irving. I would disagree with that. I think that is Jaylen Brown, but some people believe that.
Some people think he's the second best player. Isaiah Thomas.
Terrible statement.
He's supposed to be a Boston guy.
You can also go and say Kristaps Porzingis is not at 100%, like you already mentioned. That is a great point to say. Also, you could say, hey, I don't know about Jason.
I mentioned
agreed, which is what I said. Yes. Just said that. You can also go on and say, hey, don't know about Jason Tatum. Last time he was in the finals, he wasn't that great. This whole postseason run, he hasn't been an efficient three-point shooter. Hell, I don't know if I can trust him in crunch time, especially understanding that the Mavs are a better clutch time team, right? That's the argument for the Mavericks. That is it right there. If I'm just keeping it as simple as it is. But when it comes to teams, when it comes to matchup, when it comes to who has the more overwhelming talent,
a lot of that shit's marginal too. Because you get 70% KP, it's better than Luke Cornett,
right? Like I believe
you go into a finals and you play Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Steve Kerr, I really don't think you'll see anything else. That's just like it's
and that's not,
he's been going up against Spo every single year.
It's not a knock against PJ. It's not a knock against Derek. It's not a knock against Jason. It's just that Wiggins had an amazing moment.
You done seen them three. You've seen Spo every year. Like you got to come in here, and I need you to hope, bro. I need you to come in and do your thing. Bro.
I have no doubt that Jason Tatum's going to have a very good series. He should have a very good series. But they still play well,
and I don't think that your tune should change at all, Drew. I mean. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this entire time, I don't know if it's really Riv in my ear that I'm listening to, but you don't really think Dallas got a chance either. But you got them in 7.
I didn't say that.
And you picked Dallas to win originally this series.
What the hell?
I didn't say all
you
that.
Also picked Boston off camera to win the series too.
Joel! Wait, are you saying I said they don't have a chance?
Well, that's what you're saying.
I
said it's a 7-game series.
He said bar for bar, Riv. He said Minnesota got to win this because it might be a short series if Dallas faces Boston. Word for word.
That was a minute ago, though.
That was before.
How am I coming off saying that I don't think it's going to be a series?
Like I said, I think maybe it might have been Riv. You said puncher's chance though. You don't really think they got a chance.
Oh no, I believe in my heart Boston's going to win. Yeah, for sure.
I said Boston in 7. I respect Luka Doncic. I respect what he's been able to accomplish. And again, when it comes to clutch situations, I understand that Boston has been clutch, but there's been no team more clutch than the Dallas Mavericks. And in those situations, there's maybe no player in the world more clutch than that man right there, Luka Doncic.
I mean, that's what I think this is about. This is about previewing the finals. Correct. There's a way the Celtics can win. And are there more reasons for why they could win? Yeah. They have been a better team all year. Yes. But that doesn't always mean they're going to win.
No.
That doesn't mean they're going to win.
Happen. I mean, this isn't the Warriors going up against fucking Matthew Dellavedova and LeBron. Like, this isn't like some crazy heavy favorite. But I also think there's a reason why Boston's favored, why they are. I think there's a reason why you should go into the series if you're a Celtics fan, or if you're picking the Celtics, to feel pretty confident. I think the Celtics have more answers than the Dallas Mavericks do. I think Boston has more things they could throw defensively at Dallas. I think you could throw Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, even though Drew's probably the last of those three, at Luka Doncic. I think Derek White, you're going to feel pretty decent on, although Kyrie's going to hit some shots. You have different ways to manipulate the bigs to have them be able to roam. And then you have different ways offensively to pick on that Dallas defense, where you're going to have 5 shooters out there. You're going to have Luka and Kyrie going to have to prove themselves for 48 minutes that they could play high-level defense. And I don't know what it is. Every time the Jays go out there and they say Luka Doncic's out there, I just feel like they get in a different mode. I feel like we saw that both times this regular season. I feel like they just get in a different mode when they see Dallas.
I'm fine with that too. Let's move on to the duos.
Ranking the 5 best duos in the NBA right now. Number 5.
Thank God.
What do you got, Drew?
Number 5, I have KD and Book. Do you want me to go 5-1, or just start at 5? And
are we just? Do you want to all just go 5, 5, 5, 5, 5?
I have KD and Book.
I have 7 duos up here. I really couldn't figure out the order because I don't.
I do have honorable mentions. Embiid and Maxi's honorable mention, and Bam and Jimmy's honorable mention.
I got Giannis and Dame at 5.
I'm wrong for that.
Howard. What are you basing
honorable mention off of how good they are?
Okay, talent.
Yeah, mostly.
Okay.
So Giannis and Dame are at 5 off of talent.
Oh. Didn't mean to disrespect them. Yes, absolutely. They deserve to be here. That's my bad. I didn't see them in this playoffs. That's on me. Definitely should have kept that in consideration.
I've always done duos. We did this even a few months ago. I think it's of talent as well as how you fit and the success you've had. So it's a combination of all three. I don't think you could just do it on one singular thing.
If I had to say, I'd probably go Dame and Giannis at 5.
I'm curious. KD. What's your list?
Just read the whole thing.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I would have Giannis and Dame over KD and Book. Appreciate you guys letting me know for that. I do have Luka and Kyrie at 4. I have Tatum and Brown at 3. I have LeBron and AD at 2, and Jokic and Murray.
I'll be honest. I got the exact same 5. 1 through 5. I got the exact same 5.
I'm going off what you accomplished, and also
I almost put LeBron in AD 1, but I couldn't do it.
I'm at 3.
I got Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert at 5.
They haven't accomplished anything.
But they made the conference final.
Rudy was so painful to watch,
but he was great defensively.
If you want to say just this season, but they haven't accomplished. They got a WCF appearance. That's not. Nobody cares.
Giannis and Dame don't got that. Giannis and Dame don't got that.
I agree, but I'm not basing off just one season.
I want to hear your.
No, I'm basing it off of this season. Giannis and Dame.
Right, no more arguments. Let him read his list.
All season, Giannis and Dame. Offensively, they were clicking at first, but really they weren't. They didn't have a lot of pick and roll frequency. All season long, their defense has been mediocre or below average. I think it is a great duo in terms of talent, but we have yet to see them mesh. I look at Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert, it could very well be Anthony Edwards and Cat, but despite them losing in the conference finals,
they're not up here.
Despite them losing in the conference finals, a big reason why they made the conference finals was because they beat the defending champions, who, based off matchups, if they would have avoided Minnesota, could have made it all the way to the NBA Finals. And I think they deserve a lot of credit for beating the defending champions.
Absolutely.
They do.
Who was better in that series, in your honest opinion, Rudy Gobert or Karl Anthony Towns?
Rudy Gobert.
I don't know. That is close.
Because Rudy had some high highs. He had some low lows.
That game 7 by
against the Colts.
Yeah,
Karl Anthony Towns was amazing.
Rudy Gobert, he gets overshadowed because he
can't score.
There's a liability on offense.
Really bad offense.
Finishing and catching the ball. Exactly. But defensively, we cannot undermine the impact that he's made. I think Minnesota has to make some tweaks to the roster to just be better equipped to facing teams like Dallas. But ultimately, I think off of this season, they're 5 for me. Number 4, I'm going with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. If they win the championship,
no statements.
They could be
Riv,
all the way at number 2 for me.
Okay,
agreed. Or higher.
Okay.
Number 3, LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Number 2, Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray.
And Kyrie and Luka
And number
are
1, Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are 1.
See,
Because
I'm
they're gonna
trying
win
to
a
give you the
championship
benefit of
this
the
year.
doubt here.
Because they're
Wait,
gonna win a
so-
championship.
Oh, okay, they're gonna.
But I also think from a vacuum standpoint, they're the most talented duo here.
Luka and Kyrie are not better than AD and LeBron.
They're not better
No.
than Jamal.
Luka's better than
No.
LeBron right now.
Okay, and AD and LeBron clear Kyrie with all due respect to Kyrie, who's hooping
Yeah, Anthony Davis is better than Kyrie. So is LeBron.
comfortably.
But Luka Doncic is the best player there.
Of course he is. I'm acknowledging that.
And Kyrie Irving is not a slouch. He
He's
just averaged
not.
25
He's not.
this
But
year.
Anthony Davis and LeBron James were just all NBA
And I
players.
think Kyrie Irving could have. He very well could have made an All NBA team if he met the game
Kyrie had
requirements.
some
this year.
no-shows in these playoffs too.
Yeah, Kyrie really hasn't been just consistently amazing. I mean, neither has Luka for that conversation purposes.
I mean, Kyrie's had
But-
9-point games.
But at the same time, this past series versus Minnesota, the number 1 defense, every single game we saw Luka put belt to ass.
How did Luka and Kyrie get the 1, bro?
1 is insane.
They
Without
haven't
the talent.
accomplished shit. No
I think-
disrespect.
I think-
a finals appearance don't matter at
No,
all.
they haven't
Nah, all
accomplished.
jokes aside, how did they get the 1?
Luka, I think Luka and Kyrie, from a talent perspective, are better than Jokic and Jamal Murray.
That's fine. That's fine and dandy. Yes, that's fine and dandy. Cool.
And I think the difference is Kyrie
That's
versus
fine because
Jamal
Jamal
Murray.
and Kyrie can be an honest conversation.
And I think, from a
I
talent
think this year you
perspective,
probably go Kyrie.
right now, Luka and Kyrie over LeBron and Anthony Davis right now.
from a
We're
talent
not talking
perspective.
about 2020. We're talking about 2021.
I just got a question because
Didn't
I
this get
think
swept?
if the Lakers would have
What are you
matched
talking
up
about?
against
The
the
Lakers.
Clippers,
Y'all won one?
if
It was-
Riv, if
you
the
watch
Lakers would have
basketball,
matched up
come
against the Clippers
Uh-huh.
and Dallas would have matched up against Denver,
I think Denver wins.
I think this list would look a lot different. I just think it was a really tough
matchups
matchup
really
for LA.
paint a different, because if Minnesota played Dallas in the second round and the first round, this shit looks dark. Everything looks dark.
Why did the
Matchups
Lakers
really-
have that matchup?
They weren't good. in the
matchups really create this, and it creates this dangerous narrative because ain't no way in fucking hell the Jays are that low. They have been a constant ECF team for damn near
6
6
out of 8
years.
years.
What are we doing here?
Where do you have the Jays?
Two finals.
I have the Jays at 1. They're 1.
So they're over Jokic and Jamal.
That's
Murray.
tough.
Joker and Jamal are 2.
I put the 2 champions above the Jays. I gave them the respect. You accomplished the goal. Of course, LeBron stamp, Jokic stamp, all-time greats. I gave them the
Jokic
respect.
and Jamal and LeBron and AD have accomplished more than Tatum and Brown.
Yes, because of the
They
ring.
won the
But all 3 of them have accomplished a shit ton more than Luka and Kyrie. Like, it's not even close.
Yeah, but you can't nitpick me for putting Luke and Kyrie 1 when you have Tatum and Brown over
Well, I just
Jokic and Murray
like the
and
long.
LeBron and
I like
AD.
the long
they've gone
sustained.
6 out of the 8
Yeah,
years.
I like the
Two
long,
finals appearances.
sustained,
Hopefully
constant improvement from both of them. Yes, LeBron and AD do have the ring. Yes, the Joker and Jamal do have the ring, but they've had cracks in their, like LeBron and AD injured. Then they've got swept.
It's not
gentlemen
6 of
sweep.
8.
You know, so it's like
They haven't been to 6.
One was without Tatum. 5 of 7. Okay.
yeah, like come on, bro. And then Joker and Jamal, they've played what 2 healthy playoff runs together. Like so,
Yep.
you know, I don't mind putting them at 1 for sure. They just lost.
And this one
The
even
Jays
was
just went
kind of
to a-
shaky because
The
Jamal
Jays
wasn't
just
at
went to
100.
another finals.
But that's what matters, though, the championship. So, like, just off the.
So how did Luka
but-
and Kyrie get
no,
to
I'm saying
one-
for your
over
list. For
it,
your
Joe.
list. That's what matters,
Mine
right?
is
Because if you talking about
sustained,
success,
it's sustained success. Yes, like I like the sustained success over the cracks of the other 2. You have Luka and Kyrie at 1 because they made the finals. Yet the Jays are at 4. They just made another finals.
because I think from a talent perspective, they're number 1. Like I said, that's my reason for having
So
them.
where's Kevin Durant and Devin Booker?
Talent-wise, they're not
where's
more
Kevin Durant and Devin
talented
Booker?
than
Talent-wise.
LeBron.
They don't fit.
But you didn't. No, you
just
can't
said
do that.
talent.
You just said talent.
It has to coincide with each other.
Okay, so
It has
let's
to be talent
coincide.
and fit.
Talent and fit. There is almost
Because-
no
Yeah,
better fit
but-
than LeBron and AD.
It has-
That's a fact. There's almost no better duo that fits together than LeBron and AD. The only
Jokic
one
and
that
Jamal.
actually fits better is the team that beat them with Jokic and Jamal.
I think Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving fit seamlessly. They've been
Not
amazing.
better than LeBron and AD.
Not that's the statement. And talent wise,
Yours is-
AD's
is
one of the
talent,
best in
yeah,
the
but-
game.
yeah, but-
fit.
Maybe
what?
the fit is better. Like I said, if this was like 3 years ago where LeBron was better,
They're still
maybe.
fucking
LeBron
amazing.
was
But I
still
think-
one of the best in the league
Luka,
this
he's not Luka.
season.
He's not Luka.
He's not, but they're all better than Kyrie by far.
Like
it's
it's
not even
not.
close.
It's not even.
Like
a
that's the gap right there.
conversation.
The gap right there is them 2 and Kyrie. Yes, Luka is top 2
You're
in the
putting an
world.
onus on LeBron and AD over Kyrie. I'm putting an onus on Luka. That's what I'm doing.
You got your top 5 duo.
I didn't know. I didn't get a criteria what the show was gonna be. I don't.
No one's
have
on the
it.
show, Doc.
So yours is talent,
First time having a guest.
then fit, then accomplishment.
Mine is just off of this season. It's talent fit, and then I have to put some success in there because Giannis and Dame, I snub them. They could very well be 5 because I think in theory they should fit very well. But all season long, we've seen Dame at his best when Giannis was not playing. He was never at his best.
I'm not pissed over number 5. If you want to have Rudy and Ant, that's
Giannis.
Cool. Luka
and then Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, I think a lot of Devin Booker's game was taken away from him trying to fit him with KD and Bradley Beal.
Do you think you're projecting with number 1? Or do you legitimately think right now? Because say, for example, say the Mavs lose this series. Are Luka and Kyrie still number 1?
If they lose the series, I mean, they could very well be 4. It could very well.
So you're just projecting with this list. You're just
and that's what I think is going to happen. I think they will win.
I mean, yeah, at least
if they don't do it, if they don't win this ring, then this list is done. You have to make it.
I made this list on June 5th. I made it today. Because if the Jays win a chip, I'm putting them number 1. Believe that.
Well, he got the number 1 without the
chip. They should be top 3 at minimum.
They're 3.
They should be top 3 at minimum.
Yeah, 4 is nuts.
I'm
not mad that they're 4. I'm not. If you wanted to put Luka and Kyrie over Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, I would disagree.
Time out.
I know.
No.
He didn't.
I don't believe he did this.
Nah, JB didn't.
I was about to throw fit. So last year,
Jalen Brown is close.
Last year, they both made All NBA. They made an ECF. This year, Tatum makes All NBA. They make another finals, and they are 4.
Who's better, Kyrie or Jalen Brown? That's close. That's not close.
It's close.
And then Luka and Tatum.
I don't do my duos on who's better than who's better than what.
Well, that's what I'm doing. That's why I said talent.
So you're just
perspective.
saying Luka Doncic is just so unfucking believable. He's just this. He's a godly player. No one can touch him. Does not matter that LeBron and AD together, arguably, just fit together. Just
where's SGA and J-Dub then? Because SGA clears Tatum. You told me.
I think SGA is a better player than Tatum, but I mean, there's no real duo with them. It's like SGA or Chet or SGA and J-Dub.
That's not about Ant.
I don't think both of them.
Rudy
is defense player of the year. Like Chet and J-Dub, they both got to mature a little bit more and become legitimate.
So if the Jays win a ring, they go to 1, right?
This is how I made my list. How I made my list is off of talent, off of fit, but most importantly, if I'm starting a team from scratch and I got to build my team around these 2 players, who's it going to be?
Luka and Kyrie over Jokic and Murray? Oh, you're afraid.
Why would you take the 25-year-old, 26 and 27-year-old?
You should have never said
25 years old.
26 and 27. They've been to 5 ECFs and 2 finals.
You should have never said that last part.
And Kyrie's not an old head.
He's 33.
He's 33. He's not a young.
No. I believe he's 31.
No, he's not 31.
I'm pretty sure
he's 33. He's 33.
He's 32 years old. March 23rd is his birthday.
So next year he'll be 33, brother. I seen a post of MFFL Nation say our young core is so the future is bright with our young core. Had Kyrie there 32. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it's insane, bro. Yeah.
All right, P. Since I apologize, you should have got this in advance. Top 3 duo. I'll throw you 5 names. Just put 3 in them. Okay. So you have Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown. You have Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving. You have Anthony Davis, LeBron James. You have Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. And 5, let's just go Giannis and Dame for conversation. Just choose 3.
And what is the criteria? I think that's the toughest thing.
Make your own.
Oh, fine. I'm cool with that. P.
What do you believe should be the criteria?
Agreed. Whatever you think it should be.
So I would go number 1 would be Jokic or Jamal Murray. Number 2 would be Brown and Tatum. Number 3, I would go Anthony Davis and LeBron. Then I would go Luka, Kyrie, and then I would go Giannis and Dame. I think some of y'all, I would go with the Dehls approach. I'm making it on what's today, June 5th. Obviously, if the Mavericks win a championship, they probably go up. Obviously, if the Celtics win a championship, if the Celtics win that championship, like I think they will, I think they go up easily because they've done everything except win it. They're young. Both are all NBA players. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals when Jason Tatum was a rookie. I mean, any way you slice it up, I think Boston has to be 2. They have to be like 2 and one of y'all said at the minimum they're 3. They check off every box. They're young. They have the appearances. They have the potential to win one. Individually, they've put up the numbers. They've done everything except win an MVP. So I think Boston would be top 3 for me. I think it's hard to have any of these lists and not give LeBron James some type of recognition. And then Jokic and Jamal Murray, if we're talking about duos, how Joel feels about Luka, I think it's kind of how I feel about Jokic. You know, when you win 3 of the last 4 MVPs, when you win the finals and you have the finals MVP, and you know what I mean? When you have that type of resume, I think you single-handedly carry your duo into that top spot until potentially the Celtics win. And I think the Dame and Giannis duo, individually they have certain things, but you definitely want to see more from them collectively. So I would go that route. But I think the Celtics give you whatever. You can project the way Joel is with the Celtics. You could go off of today as the Celtics, and the age individually, collectively, they check every box. So the Celtics and the Nuggets are the top ones for me.
Hey, I like that.
Who is your number 1, Drew and Dehls?
My number 1 was Jokic and Murray.
Jokic, I had the same 5 as him. Jokic and Murray won.
Your 5 was Giannis and Dame.
Same 5 as yours.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, again, if Celtics win the championship, I think you can make the real argument for them at number 1. I still think since you have Nikola Jokic, who, like P mentioned, 3 out of 4 MVPs, you got the chip, you got the best player in the world title. Even if the Jays win the title, I still think I would have Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray 1 just because you have that top tier superstar Nikola Jokic. And even though I think if Tatum wins a ring and he goes out there and he gives you 35 and 6 like he did against the Pacers, he moves into top 5 conversations, I think, as long as he's efficient as well. I still think there's a pretty significant gap between him and Jokic. So I would still probably have them at 1, even if we're projecting.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Dehls, do you think it's a significant gap between Brown and Murray?
Significant, no. I think Brown's better. I don't think it's significant.
Okay.
I mean,
it depends on what Jamal Murray gets.
I'm fine with this too. That's a fine statement. If we were getting last year's Jamal Murray, shit.
Yeah. Because what Brown gives you defensively,
correct,
but Jamal has set some really high highs offensively.
Would you like if Luka and Kyrie win this ring, right? Would you put them over Carmelo and Stockton
as an all-time duo?
Yes.
And what holds back Malone and Stockton
number 1
are just that they never won a championship.
They just ran into Jordan. Unfortunately for them, they ran into Jordan
and Tim Duncan.
Fair.
I'm asking, like, would you put?
I mean, what matters is winning ultimately. Yes. That's what matters, and they haven't won. So like the fact that, especially if Luka and Kyrie beat the Celtics, because yes, Karl Malone and Stockton ran into Jordan, but you read off the numbers. The Celtics are an all-time great team and one of the best teams in terms of point differential in NBA history. Then yeah, I think like it's an argument of would you rather consistency or would you rather a one shining moment?
What about
who's the better player of all time, Charles Barkley or Scottie Pippen?
Charles
Barkley.
He doesn't have a championship. Scottie has 6.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Charles is better, but Scottie Pippen
got to play with Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but also Scottie Pippen was top 5 in MVP when Jordan left. So I think Scottie Pippen's also
team was nice as shit, man.
It's easier to fit Scottie Pippen on different teams than it was Charles.
What about Isaiah and Dumars?
No. Isaiah and Dumars is over them.
Okay, I'm just asking some duos, you know.
You asked me the old heads, man.
You said all time.
That's fine.
You said all time.
The Stockton and Malone one is great because I'll be honest.
I can't ask you Tony Parker and Tim Duncan.
That's all.
I can't ask you that.
No.
Yeah, I can't ask you that.
No, yeah, because it's Tony Parker and Tim Duncan. Yeah. I mean, they had sustained excellence, but they also won.
I can't ask you LeBron and D Wade. I can't really do that.
LeBron and Kyrie.
They only
is
have
me
one.
asking
That's
Nash and Stoudemire crazy?
Not necessarily.
They won a chip though.
Because LeBron and Kyrie.
That's an easy answer.
It's LeBron and Kyrie.
He's not making it easy at all.
They beat the best team ever.
LeBron is the top 2 player of all time. So
LeBron clears Luka.
Yeah.
No, yeah, LeBron's a better player.
How you do it? You know, LeBron. You know.
I don't know. That version of Kyrie is better than this version of Kyrie. What do you
actually think Kyrie right now is more mature. But if we're just, I think Kyrie right now.
Stop, Riff. Don't make me laugh. I'm serious. Okay.
What do you mean? I think he's a more mature player. I think
he is mature.
It was just funny hearing that. That's
from now to then, he's gotten better as a player. I just think that what he did in the finals, he probably will never have a series where he replicates that again.
I'm not disagreeing.
That's where he was at his best.
So I would take those two.
But I think in the totality of the entire season that year, I don't think that was his best season.
So let me ask you a question because I got a couple names I want to rattle off. So I want to get your opinion. This is a hypothetical world because we all don't think this is going to happen except Joel. But let's have a little fun with it. So if Luka does win a ring, and we assume he wins Finals MVP, obviously, would you put him over these guys who have a Hall of Fame career? So just rattle off some names. Tell me yes or no.
So just to be clear, this is at the end of this season. We're not projecting Luka anything going forward.
No, it's end of this year. Would you put Luka over these guys after this ring and
similar
Finals
to
MVP?
like when Giannis had won his?
Yes. So first name up. Me and Pete know this guy changed the culture. Allen Iverson, man. I know
Luka's over him.
Luka is over Allen Iverson.
Luka's just a better player. That's really what it comes down to.
I would go with Luka.
Okay. Kevin Garnett.
Luka Doncic.
Luka.
He's the better player.
I don't know.
KG put together a lot of seasons. He would.
He's the big man. KG was.
Don't do that.
KG led his team
one of the best defensive players of all time.
That,
so Pete, obviously, again, this isn't about like you mentioned before. This isn't about making a take. Let's say if he were to win the finals.
I want to. If you want to make a take, do that.
I'm not doing that.
Don't manipulate my words to say I made a take when I didn't. People don't ever twist my words.
I'm not trying to do that.
I say what I mean, and I mean what I say.
Just for the plug. That's why I'm phrasing it this way. So let's say this is as if like Luka Doncic were to retire at the end of the season, but this is just winning a chip, correct?
It's like the Mahomes shit,
right? That's what I'm assuming.
Yes.
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah, this is like your third time asking. You said that to Riv when this is like the Giannis thing. I'm not saying it to be funny, but like, it's like when Giannis won, we was like, man, you know what I'm saying?
AG,
it's the same thing.
Defensive player of the year. That's tough. MVP.
I probably would go KG, but
KG's tough.
That's not taking anything.
And I'm not saying what I say is gold. If you go KG, I'm not here to fight with you.
That's why I'm just curious.
A little more for KG.
I need clarification on what we're doing.
I feel you, brother. I'm glad that you would go KG. I don't want it to sit up. What I don't want to do is I never want to write off the people that I grew up on. KG, Allen Iverson, these are people I grew up on, and I think the impact to the basketball culture weighs way more significant than Luka. But I'm going off player versus what I watched, and I watched all three of these guys very, very much, and the stuff Luka is doing is not regular. So
listen, there's no wrong answer right now.
There is
my bias goes to Iverson.
All-time greats.
My bias goes to Iverson and KG because I grew up off of them and I got to see everything transpire. Like Dehls said, we only seen Luka's 25, so we really kind of crazy for not even trying to project because but.
I think these are easy projections. He will clear everybody I'm about to say.
That's what I'm thinking too. So
but as of today, I think KG you need a little more. But next guy, Charles Barkley.
Luka.
I mean, this is off of Luka wins the championship, right?
Yes. What the fuck?
Then it's Luka.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna be above a lot of guys that don't have a ring.
Exactly.
Damn, he automatically leaps Charles.
If he leaps KG, he leaps Charles. In my
that's
opinion.
what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying.
Kevin Garnett is a better basketball player than Charles.
Charles was different.
I think so. Yes, for me personally, yeah. I think what he brings you on the defensive end and his all-around offensive game, I think he's a better basketball player than Charles Barkley personally. Yeah, I'm with that. We could go back and forth if you want to get into that, but I got a bunch of names.
I've never heard that before.
I'm different, P.
I would go Charles.
I was born in '98, brother.
Okay. Made note of that.
I will go Charles.
Who you got next?
Next name up. Yeah, these are a bunch of ringless guys. It's gonna get good though. Steve Nash, sadly.
Luka Doncic. Come on.
Would go with Luka here.
Steve Nash is not even better than the previous names you mentioned.
Agreed.
What do you mean?
Steve Nash cannot fuck with Kevin Garnett,
Charles
Barkley, or Allen Iverson.
You love Steve Nash, and that's fine. He's amazing.
I'm not going to go back and forth. We didn't argue for 40 minutes. There's one name on there I disagree with, but next name.
Who?
I think Steve Nash is better than Allen Iverson personally.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I dig why.
Ask Steve Nash how the court smell on the final stage.
Ooh. That's tough.
And Allen Iverson always gonna get pumped up for me because when you talk about it, we always do this, and I'm guilty of it too. In past generations and the current generation, he ain't have this, he ain't had that. I don't know too many guys besides that year LeBron had.
No, you're
Jordan
cooking. Yeah, for sure.
Eric Snow, Aaron McKee, Matt Geiger. Do you know who Matt Geiger is?
Nope.
Next person.
I understand. You like
you know who Amari is. You know who Marion is. You know Joe Johnson, Quentin Richardson, Boris Diaw. Shit, you know Leandro Barbosa.
For sure. I know all those guys.
Man.
You know 3 of the. You know
step over. You know this. You know this too.
Lakers. He about to go get some shit. He doing the most.
You know this too, don't you?
Of course,
we ain't got none of these. Steve Nash.
That's why I thought about that one. I would
get Steve Nash here, and I love Steve.
I don't think AI over Nash is crazy. I just think when people talk about the conversation, you notice how everything he's talking about is that one singular year, and I can consistently go through Steve Nash's career and talk about the high-powered offenses he's produced, the efficiency in the play. I can keep doing that, but I want to get on this list
because that shit ain't go nowhere. And when it really mattered, that shit got very punched up.
He went to the WCF a few times, played Tim.
That shit got punched up.
Yeah, I know. He played some tough teams, man. Next up, Jason Kidd.
I would also go Luka.
All right, this one's gonna get juicy. Joel.
I gotta go Luka, but I love me some damn Jason Kidd, man. I damn near. I'm gonna be real with you. I take Jason Kidd over Steve Nash personally.
Me too, but that's a conversation for more days. Because if I take him over Nash, obviously,
so you take you take Jason Kidd over Steve Nash, but you don't put Allen Iverson over Steve Nash.
I love Nash. I have an insane bias towards Steve Nash.
We're gonna have to do a stream together.
He has a bias against volume, low efficiency scorers,
like you do with Hallie,
elite playmakers.
So that's a whole different world of basketball for you to use that mindset with. When Allen Iverson played, nobody gave a fuck about that type of shit. Rightfully so.
Next name up. I'm sorry, bro. James Harden. It's for you.
Luka Doncic.
It's Luka. It's Luka.
James Harden with the ring.
Here comes the ring, guys.
But I tell you this: we rewind and we do the same thing for James Harden. I would have said James Harden over a lot of these names too. Yeah. We only doing that because we've gotten a chance to see how many years now extended of James. When James Harden was at that top,
I want to say
they were having conversations about him being the third best shooting guard in history of the basketball.
And I was I was
robbed with him.
That 2018 was his stamp on NBA history.
Listen, even with that year, it's like you run into the 73 and
he didn't even have to win a ring. I feel like
you run into the KD Warriors. That's not the year. The year he should have won was 2021 Nets.
But that wasn't the same, bro.
It wasn't the same.
But no, he played at an MVP level.
He did. But it was like you have Kevin Durant, you have Kyrie.
But that was when KD was out for so many games.
But that was in the regular season, bro.
But that's
he
what
was going into the playoffs. And if he would have beat Kevin Durant and Steph,
oh my god,
that 2021 ring, that holds more weight than ring.
I agree.
Like, even if he didn't win, because he was going to go play LeBron. Mm-hmm. Even if he didn't win that ring, the fact that he beat them,
you're saying 2018?
Yeah,
for sure.
Whichever year you want to grab,
winning that year,
that's like that holds way more weight than ring.
What year is that? When they missed those threes?
2018 and 2019.
My years be all confused.
Yeah, I mean that Harden, if he beat the KD Warriors, that would have cemented him. But ultimately, I thought his chance was with the Nets in 2021.
But as the guy,
it was just going to be too much. You ran to Brooklyn.
It don't matter. As long as you win that shit,
happens to Kevin Durant.
As long as
he gets the whole, you ran to Golden State. You did the snake. It happened to LeBron too in the beginning.
He had to go back home.
He had to go back and
go back home.
Now you're going to get that slack.
I think in the present, people pay attention to that. But
people still killing KD.
From a historical standpoint, all that would matter is that Harden won a championship. That's all that would matter.
Yeah,
That's all that would matter.
I don't know because
I kind of see what you're saying, but I think I agree with both of y'all. Joel is right because when Kevin Garnett and them won it with the old ass Celtics team, it was still like, man, KG and Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, they got them one.
Yeah.
But we've also we wasn't having those conversations that we was potentially having for Harden for those guys.
Yeah.
Third shooting guard of all time. I can't even remember how many points he was averaging. 34, 35, like
36 the year that he was second.
I just remember, like when you get to that stage in your career, there's that one moment, like D Wade, for example. His career is great, but when you think of D Wade, you think of that one moment, 2006 final, whatever it was, and that's for Harden. It was that 2018 against Golden State. If he'd have won that, the ring would have been cool, of course. But what puts you over D Wade is winning that. Right
2018 immediately, he would have cemented himself top 3.
Because I was dick riding because he was taking them far. No bullshit.
What's with that year? if they would have beat Golden State, I think everybody kind of writes it in that they beat Cleveland.
You're definitely thinking about
when you think about it, I mean, LeBron James in the finals versus James Harden.
I got Bron.
Cleveland could have
LeBron
stuck
was
that
getting 5.
Come on.
And Kyrie was still on the team at that time. Was it 2018? No,
Yeah,
no. 2018 was the year that LeBron was.
17, 18.
No, Kyrie wasn't there.
The year in 8.
Kyrie played in 17.
J.R. Smith timeout, right?
Yes, correct.
Hey, man, Harden could have fake beat them. With George Hill in
Hey, man,
the team was
that game one that Bron put on, was that 51? That let me know he would have killed the Rockets.
The Doors box is crazy. He broke his hand.
Yeah.
What do you mean, bro? He lost the
He was
game,
in
got
there.
angry, fucking broke his hand.
Yeah, sounds like some dumb shit.
It was some dumb shit.
If he was able to get
Daniels.
51 on that
That's the
Warriors
Mark
team,
Stoudemire, if you really
he
know.
was going to
Of
have
course, we punched the fire.
81 against the Rockets.
He would have killed them. It breaks my heart every time.
Harden would have destroyed George Hill.
Oh, Harden would have got his, unless
destroyed
LeBron was
everybody.
playing defense on Harden.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
James
I
Harden
got 3 more names, and that's it. These some dudes with some rings. Next name up, David Robinson.
I would go with Luka.
Ooh,
I think right now, all time, David Robinson.
David Robinson.
Oh, if you player for player, I mean Luka, but
Enough with player for player with these big men, man.
Maybe memory's failing me. David Robinson
He was known
Was-
back in the time as a
playoff,
choker.
yes, and then
Yeah.
Duncan came to town and they won
Yeah.
year one.
Yeah, but from a resume standpoint,
No,
MVP.
of course,
David
of course.
should
I
have
mean, he's
championship.
unbelievable.
Oh yeah,
One of the
And
best-
he
it would
played
be
in a
man
big
ever.
man era. Like
He
that
did.
was the golden age of you had Ewing, you had Moran, and you had
Luka
Team
Doncic.
Olajuwon, you had
Yeah, I'm
Charles
going
Barkley,
Luka.
you know, you had
Luka Doncic.
Next name up, D Wade, man.
I'm still going D
I'm still
Wade.
going D Wade.
it's doing Wade.
I need a little more for D Wade. And then final answer, his
Luka
brother,
Doncic.
I was gonna say Pete been consistent. I respect it.
his mentor, Dirk Nowitzki.
I'm just joking.
I've
I'm just
seen
joking. Dirk and D Wade are over Luka if he win a champ, even if he win a championship.
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm
Dirk is.
I think
over
Dirk, you need like 2 of them bad boys to really
Yeah.
do
You
it.
need an MVP.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
That too.
The way
that
that
too.
the way that I approach this, obviously, we already went over this. If he retires tomorrow, I'm sorry. I mean, these guys put together 15 to 18 year
One more name.
careers.
A kind of like a what if kind of player. Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi.
I would still take Kawhi.
That is the best one you've said.
That is a great one.
I don't know if I even have an answer. Shit.
I would go
That one's
with,
tough.
given what I've seen
Luka
in
Doncic.
totality from I respect it. I'm going Kawhi though.
Does Kawhi beating Luka hold any weight for y'all?
It does.
Not too much.
Because
he
Kawhi
was
didn't
amazing.
go
He
out.
was
He didn't go out to
un-
do anything.
Huh?
You know, like Kawhi didn't go on to win a championship.
Fair.
He got hurt.
He
I
did
think he
get
was
hurt.
And
But
Kawhi
that
was
series was one of his best ever.
He was shooting Shaq efficiency from the mid range.
And you told me that shit, and I had to go look it up to make sure you weren't lying. That shit gives me goosebumps. He
It
was
was crazy.
OD.
It's crazy, bro. It's
Kawhi's
crazy.
hard
He
because you're
was
also thinking
OD.
you're thinking these last couple of years, Kawhi, where he
He's just
hasn't
been
been
hurt,
the
yeah.
same. You're thinking
That's
peak
why I call him
Kawhi
like a
at
what
his
if.
absolute peak. Yeah, I'm taking
Defensive
Kawhi
player of the
from
year, 2 championships.
Yeah, the
2
two-way
finals
ability,
MVPs.
the multiple stints. At
I'm
Spurs,
overthinking it. It's just
Raptors.
so much that Kawhi's had for him versus Luka's path for all of this makes me go
Mhm.
Luka. That's all. You know, Kawhi was able to come into the Spurs. He was able to have development, have support
Fair.
from some guys. Luka has really had to spearhead and carry an organization through everything to get to this point. And you know, don't get me wrong, Kawhi has carried and has had his moments, but it's just a different upbringing to me that kind of makes me shade more towards Luka. But I don't have any argument against none of y'all for picking Kawhi, because Kawhi, man, when Kawhi is on, and that's one thing that I kind of feel like we was robbed of. We haven't been able to have that complete year where we're able to see Kawhi try to be the best player. And you know, it's his life, it's his career. We don't have the entitlement to necessarily demand that from him. But I would have loved to have seen him have one full year of saying, I'm that dude. And I wanted it to be
2020.
2017.
I wanted to see him after he left. Yeah, 2020. After he left the
2020. That's
Raptors
what I
that first
figured.
year with the Clippers,
Yeah,
the
that's what I figured.
conversation was, is he the best player? And he had left. And, you know, I wanted to have seen him go out to try to go get an MVP and establish himself that way. But unfortunately, his body hasn't allowed him
2020 was pretty healthy for Kawhi, if I'm not mistaken.
You talking about somebody who like
but that bubble happened, though.
Facts. That's fair.
like 2017, that was Kawhi's like breakout where he was like a 27-point game and he played Golden
There are
State.
very
And,
few
he
people.
put
Yes.
fear.
Is
in
that the
the
Zaza year?
Yeah,
Yes, that
year.
was the
That's
Zaza
the
year.
Yes,
Yes,
bro.
That was the year that,
We got
that Golden
robbed of
State
that
won
year.
73. They won 67.
Yes. That's when KD first got there.
They had an under 100. I think it was. Maybe I'm tweaking. Maybe my mind's lying.
And then Spurs winning there.
93 team defensive rating.
Yep, Spurs winning
game one.
I was killing them.
Yes,
killing them. Oh, I missed that.
Bro, I got goosebumps again, bro. That is Kawhi. Really, you said fear, bro. There has been very few people I've seen in LeBron's tenure in the NBA that LeBron just wanted no parts of. LeBron, obviously, he'll go up against anyone. It does not matter. The one guy consistently LeBron hated going up against was Kawhi.
Rightfully so.
You got that picture of him and that video of him, the free throw line.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man.
It's like
that was like 22-year-old Kawhi, too. That was
young Kawhi.
Come on.
Kawhi. Hey, y'all ever see those YouTubers who do like alternate realities or universes on like 2K or something where I would love I would love to see something like that for Kawhi because, man, y'all got me thinking about a lot of shit, man.
For me, though, it's tough because you say 2020, it was the bubble. That's facts. And then there's obviously the statements.
I'm thinking more 2021. Sorry, bro. I'm sorry. You know,
it's all right.
Quiet. You know how I feel. I'm thinking more 2021 when he got hurt and PG.
That was the one,
WCF.
man.
That was the year.
That was
they
the
were
one.
beating the Bucks.
Even though 2020, they choked.
Yes.
Like, I just don't want to run away from that. They blew it.
Yep.
They can say all they want. They didn't want to be there. They were up 3-1. They choked.
And they were whipping their.
No. Probably want to be there when you're up 3-1.
There's no explanation for why they should have lost that series.
That's a funny ass excuse.
Which is why I'm with you. Even we can go back to that was my first.
Kawhi a part of that too. A lot of people try to make that a Paul George thing.
He was not good.
They try to make that a Paul George thing. Kawhi's a part of that, man.
Game 6, Kawhi was solid. Game 7, he was not
the series.
Good.
He was great.
Correct.
Game 7 was the one. Where
correct. I agree with that. But that's why 2021, that Clippers team was, in my opinion, the best by far.
We've been talking about duels. I got a Would You Rather duels edition. And these are all-time duels, so these going to be different type of duels.
Cook this up today, like just now.
Not just now. I've been had it.
Oh, okay.
So
you were ready to put Luka and Kyrie as like number 3 duo ever.
No, backcourt, not duo. But I think from a talent standpoint,
it's all right. Don't spoil.
There's very little backcourts that are better than Luka and Kyrie.
There's not,
and there's not many.
Need to win a ring.
Elite backcourts all time.
Yeah, because I don't think you really go into that with that.
You typically don't build around just like 2. Yeah.
Would you rather NBA backcourts edition all time? Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum versus CP3 and Devin Booker.
Luka. Oh wait, I'm so sorry.
Fucking jumping.
I thought it was a would you rather.
I would rather CP3.
I'd rather CP3 and Harden.
CP3 and Harden by far.
No, he said Devin Booker.
Devin Booker.
I'm tweaking.
Okay. Can you guys listen?
I thought Harden too.
I'm tweaking. All right, CP3 and Devin Booker.
Yes, they went to a finals, and Devin Booker was godly.
What are you going to be?
You get the playmaking, my ass.
And CP3 too, right?
Give me Dame and CJ.
You want to be different and shit.
No, they had to go against those Warriors teams, man. That ain't fair. If Chris Paul and Devin Booker had to face those teams too, we wouldn't be talking about that.
They would have whipped their ass, but you know
that's tough.
No, it's not.
No. What Pete's saying is, that's fair. It's a fair statement to make. But
Portland was up every game, blew it.
Because you know why? Because the Warriors was playing around with them. They weren't for real.
That to me is embarrassing. Like you letting the team just play with you.
They should have. They had. Look at the team that they had. They was out there with Al-Farouq Aminu.
Right. That team was a little funny looking. They
Mo Harkless and Al-Farouq Aminu should have never even been in that position. Those are the moments that make me, as I get older, I really start to think about like Michael Jordan. Like Michael Jordan stopped shit. Charles Barkley and so many different guys weren't able to. Karl Malone and John Stockton because he wasn't having shit. And you look back at so much talent throughout certain like stretches, and it's like, damn, you can't. Dame and CJ we're going to tell our kids about them, but when they look at their basketball references and all of that shit, our kids are gonna be like, why y'all fuck with Dame and CJ?
Nah,
like,
Dame got it. CJ, I don't know.
CJ has some
moments.
We're always going to talk about them in a tandem, sort of, kind of. We're always going to find them together, and our kids are going to be like, why? Why are they on 2K right now as this old team? What did they did everything I look at say they were getting their ass.
They're gonna make the playoffs. That's one thing.
All right,
they're gonna get in.
Let me ask a branch off of this question. Dame and CJ or DeMar and Lowry?
Dame and CJ.
I would also take Dame and CJ. Dame and CJ in the East would probably do the same or more.
But LeBron was always in their way, you know?
But they also choked, though. Yeah, that shit wasn't even.
Lowry and DeMar, they choked.
They
lost
won
to
4-2 against.
No,
they
like
lose to the
in
Nets.
totality,
Joe
their
Johnson
stats
was
in the
destroying them.
playoffs
They lost to
were
the Nets.
underwhelming.
Nah, fuck that. They lost to the Nets. Yeah, nah, they lost. They didn't just lose to LeBron.
DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry for a long
Did they
time
not lose to Anthony Davis and Drew Holiday?
They did.
Yes,
They did.
That's Anthony Davis.
That was a young AD.
They lost to the Nets.
That's fair.
That
Agreed.
wasn't that young of an AD. That was young AD,
That was
but he
AD.
wasn't
That
that
was
young.
AD.
That was
Drew
20
Holiday, Rondo, Boogie was on that team. He got
23
hurt.
AD.
Nah,
That was
24,
Dame's worst
25.
series, but I'm saying in the totality, DeMar DeRozan and Lowry were viewed as playoff chokers.
No, DeMar was that.
And they was in the Eastern Conference when you really could be using that word weak.
Yeah.
All right.
I think PG took him to 7 by himself.
I mean,
Yes,
PG
and
was-
CJ Mao, he told CJ Mao, hey, man, I told CJ I need that shot.
Now this is an old school backcourt versus a new school backcourt.
There we go.
John Wall and Bradley Beal versus Ja Morant and Desmond Bain.
Ja Morant and Desmond Bain.
I thought you said old school. I thought we were waiting for some 90s shit.
I was waiting for some
So
80s.
John
90s.
Wall-
It is
Bradley
still
Beal.
kind of old school.
Oh,
Don't make us sound
2010s.
old.
It's a
What
2010.
what team did they play for? John Wall and Bradley Beal.
What team did they play for?
Yeah.
The Wizards?
Oh, okay. Just have to make sure you do
Don't do him dirty like
What
that.
stupid ass question.
Nah,
was
that was rude.
that. My fault.
Ja and Desmond Bain or Wall and Beal.
I'm gonna go Ja and
Probably
and
John.
Desmond
Yeah,
Bain.
probably John
Yeah,
Bain.
overthinking it
Yeah.
personally, but that's just me.
Right
Ja's
now, or we're projecting
Just
No,
in-
like right
I get
now, like backcourt.
John
right now.
Wall and Bradley Beal.
I'm going with John Wall and Bradley Beal.
John
too.
Morant's already better than I
You
feel
could
like
ask me
both
that
of those
80s
players.
shit,
John
Dre. If
Wall was
2010s, I was here. I
walking
believe. You
20
know what I mean? I was
Yeah,
Yeah,
playing
but John
this
Moran was
shit.
27 and
John
what,
Wall
7?
was a walk in 2011 and a defensive team appearance. He was in a league.
John Morant better than him, bro. John Morant better than him, man. Stop.
John Morant
You
is better
think
than
he
John
clears?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. Prime John Wall, you're crazy. He
Oh
doesn't
my
clear.
God.
He doesn't
He
clear.
clears,
No, he
bro.
doesn't.
He
Oh,
clears.
God.
No, he
Oh, my
doesn't.
He
God.
clears, bro. John Morant's better than him. Like, it's not even a discussion.
Who are you taking, Draw?
I'm taking Wall and Beal.
Oh my God. You talk about it.
You hate Bradley Beal,
You know
too.
what?
That's crazy.
You know,
That's not the same Bradley Beal, though. That's what I'm saying.
That's a
Relax.
good Bradley Beal.
It was
That's
a good
very
Bradley
good.
Beal.
But what are we doing?
You're sleeping on John Wall. That's
No,
what
John
you're
Wall was
doing.
he was an all-star. John Morant one of them ones. John Wall was not.
John Wall was one of them ones too
You a
before he got
liar.
hurt.
He was good. Great.
They were
he was
top
an
three.
All-NBA player.
That was their
Great.
ceiling.
He was great. John Morant's an all-NBA player. He might be NBA first team. John Wall's never averaged 27.
All-NBA
He's not even
first team?
capable of averaging 27 points.
John
per game.
Morant's capable. of
John Wall was all NBA too, buddy. Relax.
Yeah,
No,
he
I'm
wasn't.
but I'm saying John. No, I said John Wall's all NBA third team.
You said John Moran was
John
All
Morant's all
NBA first
NBA.
team.
He's all
He's saying
NBA
he can
first
be.
team type
Yeah.
of
He
player.
hasn't got
Man.
there yet, but you're
It's never
projecting.
happened.
Brother, he
Who
just didn't play this year.
Who would he make first team over right now?
Well, right now he can make it over.
SGA. Wait,
Wait, if
positionless.
Brunson
It's positionless.
can make an
Talk.
argument for Tatum,
Talk.
I feel like Ja can have a season like that.
That
Hey.
argument's weak.
Real shit. The next time you see Ja Morant, it's gonna be a little different too. We got Luka, Shea, Brunson, Steph Curry still exists. It's gonna be a little different.
No,
He's
we're-
not all
I don't
NBA
know.
first
John
team.
Moran came onto the
He could
scene
be all
this
NBA first
season.
team.
He was
He could be all NBA
OD.
first
No,
team.
he's not.
He was
Positionless
OD.
is tough.
Time out.
Positionless.
Wait,
is
he-
real
You telling me
Ja
he's
Morant
telling me
that
he's not?
So wait, hold on. You was making an argument for Jalen Brunson all year, correct? And rightfully so.
I think Jalen Brunson he performed like a first team.
No, and I think John Morant can definitely 1,000% perform on
Now
like a
you're
first teamer.
sleeping on the season Jalen Brunson just had.
That's
John
not what
Morant,
he's doing.
No,
That's
John
not what
Morant
he's
had
doing.
27
not what
and
he's
doing.
8
He's
No.
acknowledging Ja.
last year.
No. Jalen Brunson was hooping, Brody.
He was.
John Morant can hoop
But so
just like
yeah,
that. What
that's-
are we
it's
doing?
not an indictment on
It's not.
Brunson.
I'm
It's-
saying-
it's-
I'm
And,
not
and it's
saying
not an
that.
indictment on Ja Morant either.
No, he hasn't had it yet. But he can. Is all I'm saying.
Okay, but
He
he
can't.
hasn't had it yet.
He just averaged 27 and 8.
And now the
how
guard,
much did Jalen Brunson
Yeah,
average?
Brunson averaged what?
You
20
can't
wins?
make that argument. Brunson this probably is the best season out of the two.
What
that
did Brunson
they've
do
had.
for free? 40 plus
He was-
percent?
No,
John Moran would never touch that.
Wait,
Stop playing.
wait, hold on. He's averaging 27. He's not touching that. I want you to think about that in your brain right now. He's putting up 27 points per game and he can't shoot. Think about it. Now, all I'm saying,
But this
all
season,
I'm saying is,
Brunson is better than Ja's.
and I agree.
Okay.
John Morant is 23 years old.
Okay, but this season that Brunson just has better than anything that Ja has had in his
That's what I just said.
He said,
Ja,
and I
I'm with
agree.
you, Rib. Ja can get to a first team.
Ja
He
can
get to a
do
first
it.
team.
Why?
I think eventually, yes. We're not saying he
He
can't.
come back on his
He
bully.
can, but it's not cemented that he will.
No, I'm just
You're
saying
just,
he can.
you're
he's got-
just
he's
your
got like
argument
6,
for
7
Ja
years
over
of
John
prime.
Wall.
What I'm saying is John Wall, we've seen he can't. That's he can't. He like
No, because I disagree. I think there would have been a time when you would have been saying the same thing about John Wall. You just have the luxury of seeing his career play out.
I've never seen John Wall put up 27 and 7, and they win 50 games. I've never seen John Wall.
John Wall put up 33 23-11 one year, bro.
That's cool.
2016, 2017.
And what was he? NBA what? Third team, second team?
He was NBA third team, and he was 7th in MVP voting.
Don't make that face. All NBA is all NBA. You're one of the top.
NBA is great.
But now was positionless.
He did that, and he was all NBA 13. I think Ja can do better.
So even positionless, so he would have been a second teamer.
Who?
Ja.
I don't know who made the team, so I couldn't really run.
He said he was 7th in MVP voting.
Oh,
he was third team, so he would have been
a
a second teamer.
Yeah, I'm looking at the All NBA team.
Who's on me that year
for this year? First team, the guard spot, because that's what matters. James Harden and Russ.
Fair. I think that was a triple W.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
fair.
Second team was Steph Curry and Isaiah Thomas, who averaged 29.
They had to have a crazy year.
And then third team was John Wall and DeMar.
Ja Morant can't have an Isaiah Thomas season.
29 and 7.
Did you say Chris Paul's name? No, right?
No, Chris Paul didn't make
So
an All NBA
like,
team here.
Even Chris
John's
Paul
23, bro.
He's
got.
Isaiah Thomas averaged 29 and 6 that year.
He's amazing.
No, that was a spectacular.
So now y'all are projecting then.
On who?
Y'all saying Ja Morant 23.
Ja Morant.
If I'm projecting, of course I'm taking Bane and Ja.
I'm with you. But right now, Ja Morant.
Wait, hold on. Stop.
Already...
Got it. Done.
Okay.
Ja Morant at 22 years old. MVP voting. He was 7th. 22 years old. He was 7th in MVP. No. I'm not talking about you, Pee Wee. Hold on. I'm gonna get to you in a second.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Pause.
You just pause. Yeah, in fact, that was crazy. You was talking about John Wall. That year, he was 7th in MVP voting. Ja Morant was 7th in MVP voting. NBA second team All Star. And that was 22 years old. He averaged 27 and 7.
No, I think Ja Morant's an elite player.
So why can't he? All I'm saying is he can be on the first team. He can.
I mean, he can, but it's a lot of guards
too.
On the
It's
first
a lot
team?
of guards, man.
Oh, yes.
And I also feel like
Tyrese Maxey, Luka Doncic, Steph Curry,
I don't think Tyrese.
Shea
I
also think
Gilgeous-Alexander.
that-
guards,
I mean,
though, you need to be top 5 position.
Sure, I think he
Ja's having the benefit of playing in this era with more spacing. John Wall was playing with Martian Gortat.
Ja Morant doesn't have more spacing. That's just not true.
I think it is true.
Going forward, he could.
The floor is definitely more spaced out.
Going
Ja
forward, no
Morant
more
team
Steven
does
Adams.
not have that much spacing. You know that.
I think going forward,
Comparatively to the teams
I don't
in the
even
league
know.
now,
What was the team?
Yes.
What was the team with the Wizards? That was Bradley Beal. Who else was on that team? Otto Porter Jr. Was he on that team?
or
Yeah.
Ariza, one of
Jerry
those.
Dudley.
Trevor Ariza, and then they had two bigs.
next year, Rib, that Grizzlies team's
They
gonna have
fuck
space.
around- Hold on, P. They fuck around had the same team. What,
I'm
they had
crazy to say
Gortat,
Bane
Nene,
started
Trevor
careers better than
Ariza.
Beal.
They do not have the same team. John Wall and Brad Beal. If they had a Jaren Jackson Jr., we'd be talking
No,
about
I'm
a whole
just
different
saying,
thing.
like in terms of just like spacing, like James
spacing.
Jackson shoot.
The
But
Wizards,
they had Steven Adams out there.
the Wizards don't get a lot of credit, but they were forward thinking with the
He
spacing.
had Dylan Brooks running out there with him.
But
He
they did
can't
also have some Trevor Booker minutes and shit like that. Kevin Seraphin,
I think John Wall, if he didn't get hurt and missed like 3 years, he would have been really good.
fellas.
Did he get hurt?
It was a great conversation, fellas. I think we did what we was needed to do. Me and Joel stood on business. We got John Wall and Brad Beal. Y'all projecting, talking about he 22. We know how old he is. We watch basketball too. Are we projecting or are we not? Let me know, because if we projecting, I'm taking John Wall. I'm taking Bane.
We're not projecting, and I'll be honest, I'm still taking John
on
Bane,
business.
because
We're
Bane's actually the guy we haven't spoken about, and Bane's pretty damn great.
I think Beal is just there. Like I think Beal was probably better.
It took Beal a little while to get going. Bane, 3 years into his career already, he's giving me over 20.
The next duo I have CP3 and Harden or Luka and Kyrie.
Wow.
Luka and
That's
Kyrie.
up as fuck.
It is. Give me Luka and Kyrie.
My argument
answer
will be
changes,
it will be CP3 and Harden right now, for the fact of they were up 3-2 against the KD Warriors. And I think that if CP3 didn't get hurt, I do believe they win. But of course, we don't live in a world of ifs and buts. But I saw that team take one of the best teams in my lifetime, probably the best team in my lifetime, to the brink. I'm gonna respect CP3. I'm gonna respect Harden.
I think my answer changes if Luka and Kyrie win a ring.
I agree with that
And I'd
too.
probably go Chris Paul Harden. Right.
I think my answer is staying the same regardless. It's Luka and Kyrie.
Yeah, shocked.
Just because of the floor that Luka gives me in the playoffs. James Harden is sporadic in the playoffs, and we can look to that 1 year in 2018 for Harden and CP3. But the very next year, Kevin Durant got injured in the third quarter, at the end of the third quarter, versus the Rockets, and they were unable to capitalize. They ended up losing that game and then losing game 6, and CP3 was a part of that. And at that point, CP3 looked like a shell of himself until he went back to OKC, and then he looked like a different version of himself.
That was a year after, though.
Yeah, it was 2 years that we got of that backcourt, and the second year looked way different than that first year.
Mhm.
I'm probably going with Luka and Kyrie. With all that being said,
Same.
Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, or Derek Fisher and Kobe Bryant?
God damn it, Joel. Kobe.
Derek Fisher and Kobe Bryant.
I just got to take Kobe.
Gotta respect Kobe.
No, same.
Yeah.
I'm going Kobe and Fisher.
Derek Fisher is crazy. Just like thinking about Tony Parker, and then you go Derek Fisher.
No, yeah, but they're like legitimately a top 5 backcourt all time. Because Kobe.
What?
Because Kobe is putting
What?
he's
yes, I
backpacking
hear
that
what you're saying.
backcourt.
He's
backpacking
so wait, is
that
Michael
backcourt.
Jordan and like John Paxson or some shit like top 3?
Ron
backcourt.
Harper.
You're
Yeah,
right.
I don't know. Yeah, it could be. This is the last one. Chauncey Billups and Richard Hamilton versus Rajon Rondo and Ray Allen.
I'm going Rajon and Ray.
I'm gonna go.
Ray Allen's
My
such a
bias is
fake
about-
Celtic that I don't
My
know
bias is about to
give
come
him
out.
that.
Rajon was tough.
Give me Billups
Oh, yeah.
and give me Rip, man.
This is actually probably the toughest one.
Give me Billups and give me Rip. I think Billups was better than.
If you would have gave me
Rondo.
Paul, that would have been easy.
He probably was, but man, I've seen Rondo do some shit with the basketball in his hands.
I think Billups' intangibles probably outweigh his actual ability, and I love that for him, and that's why I'm so high on him. Just like he's like really one of those leaders, mentors. Like
Rondo, talk
bulldog.
about intangibles.
Rondo's smart as shit, but he's had problems with other teams. I think
Mhm.
Billups is just.
Shit, he had a problem with the Celtics. He
Everybody
wasn't
has
enough
a problem.
playing time when he was a rookie.
But his year where he had a good amount of triple doubles, that was the year he tore his ACL too, correct?
I think that was the year after Paul left, KG left.
That was when he became the manager.
Because he was
Yeah,
on a
facts,
streak
facts,
of
facts.
triple doubles in a row. If I'm not mistaken.
that was after, because when it was the big 3, he was like, then it started becoming the big 4 once Rondo starts.
I mean, I think Ray Allen's a better player than Richard Hamilton, but I think Chauncey's a better player
I
than
agree.
Rajon Rondo. And I'm gonna go with Chauncey and Rip.
I'm taking the C's, boys. Easy.
I'm gonna take Chauncey and Rip too because they beat Kobe and Shaq Lakers.
Love that.
That's a huge accomplishment.
That's a very sound
Shit,
argument.
I mean,
right there.
fucking Rondo and Ray Allen beat Kobe's Lakers.
Not the
Shit.
Kobe and Shaq one.
Not Kobe and Shaq. No.
Kobe and Powell.
Kobe
Shout
and
out to
Powell.
Powell, man.
Kobe and Lamar.
They didn't have Ron Artest at that time. They got Ron Artest and they smacked y'all.
Next
They did
year,
not
yeah.
spank.
That
Yeah,
was
I know,
they
it was
spanked.
a 7-game series.
Yeah, that was crazy.
They spanked shot. So now, Riv, I think you're gonna love this topic. It's about the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, man. Bring it home. Bring
Ja
it home.
Morant. I mean, in the midst of this playoff run, when people were talking about Anthony Edwards, for some reason, I always seen the conversation shift back to Ja. Wait until Ja comes back. Wait until Ja comes back. Well, one full year of not playing basketball for the most part. He came back due to
6-3 when
he
was
came back
hurt.
from injury. Yes, and they were really good when he came back. But next year, fresh slate, healthy team, have a lottery pick. What are your expectations for Ja Morant and the Grizzlies next year?
Well, I don't think it's just like I love that the conversation is probably going to be mostly about Ja Morant, but I don't think it should be because I don't think he's going to be the only one coming back. You know, I think Marcus Smart, who came on this team, he was dealing with the injury prior to coming to Memphis. I think him, being out for basically the year, getting healthy is huge. I think Bane, he missed a lot of time. Jaren Jackson, learning to play the 5 and evolving as a player, that's going to be huge. I think they're going to be like legit, like they're getting their trio back that has literally been a 50-win team, 45. Like they've been a constant at the top for a couple years. So I think that is also scary for the West because now we're getting another team that can shake up the standings. But you mentioned the top 10 pick, which I think they've done pretty well in developing players like Brandon Clark, and stuff like that, who's also coming back from
Zion
injury.
Williams.
That one's kind of a miss.
The one you probably
That's
can't
literally the
name.
only. I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Throw
that-
Bane
that-
in there. Jaren
Xavier
Jackson.
Tillman was good for
Xavier
this
Tillman.
team.
That's another solid
Dylan
name.
Brooks. So I think they're pretty good in the development process. So I'm not too crazy about who they'll pick. I think whoever they pick, whether it be like a Dalton Kincaid or whoever goes down there, I think it'll be fine.
Dalton.
Dalton
Knecht.
who?
He
I'm
mentioned
sorry,
that.
Kincaid.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
tweaking. My
Kincaid,
fault.
yeah.
Shout out to
I'm tweaking.
Kincaid.
My fault. I was
Bills
thinking of
guy.
the Bills. Thinking of the Bills. My fault. We're back. What was I saying? Oh, then of course they found gems in Vince Williams, Gigi Jackson, who are also going to be in the team. So that's going to round out your rotation. And I think they can grab some under the radar guys to fill that, big man spot. It could be Precious from, New York if he doesn't come back. Somebody like that, just
Interesting.
to throw a name out there,
Get him over.
Yeah, but I think it's not even the needle mover is Ja Morant. But, I think with this team this year, they've kind of been forgotten because, of course, the injuries. But a lot of and you talked about Anthony Edwards and how Ja Morant kept getting brought up because I feel like a lot of the stuff Anthony Edwards was doing, like to the media and the way he was acting, Ja Morant was kind of doing that stuff and people didn't like it. And then he started to become a bad rep to the media with the gun and all that, like hoopla and stuff, and then with the kid allegedly. But I think this team is going to come back. It's going to be strong. I think it's going to make a case. Ja Morant definitely gets forgotten in those conversations with the best point guards in the league. You have other people putting guys that shouldn't be over him. I won't say who that is at the table, but point guards that shouldn't just be over that man because he has been one of the best point guards in the league.
Not zero.
No, not Brunson. Brunson's a cool name.
Talking about Jamal.
Yeah,
agreed. I agree. With
but shit. Oh. Jesus Christ. But I am excited for Memphis. I think most people are excited for Memphis to come back, see how they look. I've been watching Ja's documentary, so I'm definitely tapped in.
Say it with your chest. You think Ja's better than Brunson?
No, I said Brunson was cool. Did I not?
Yeah, you did.
But who do you think's better? That's not what I'm asking.
Who do I think's better?
Yeah.
Ja Morant. But I'm not mad if you think Brunson's better. I'm really not, honestly.
Okay. I would go Brunson with respect to Ja Morant. I would take him over the other guys that we mentioned, though. I look at what's going on, and yeah, of course. I mean, you forget about a guy that we only saw for a handful of games. Yeah,
6-3.
I mean, and he was
they won 6
amazing.
Before that. He got
and he had a buzzer beater in his return
Jones.
back. That was unbelievably lit.
Aura.
Personified. But again, when it comes to
hurt, what the fuck you need out of this?
I want to say this though, and maybe this is a weird thing to say. I would say the way that Ja articulated himself when he was trying to exude confidence was not as clean, or didn't seem it seemed a little bit more forced than an Anthony Edwards, where Anthony Edwards really it felt like it was a part of him, where Ja Morant was like, "No, I'm fine in the West." It didn't feel like he meant it to me personally. But I look at
and it was a dumb thing to say.
I mean, Ja's been like that in college.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a dumb thing to say. I'm always fine with confidence, but it's the way that how you go about it.
A team
you can tell when someone is.
You're about to start hating.
What do you mean?
Can I finish talking?
Fuck. He's saying we're fine in the West, and he says we're fine in the West. They haven't made a conference finals yet.
He's 23.
Okay. Drew, take the floor back, Drew.
You got to demand about.
It's a hater. He's
God
a hater.
damn. But again, when it comes to Ja Morant, when it comes to Anthony Edwards, you can tell when someone you're kind of just born with natural confidence. Sometimes it's forced. It may not really resonate with people, but I'm always fine with confidence. But you can tell when people don't, or it looks as if someone really doesn't mean it, and people will use that against them. But Ja Morant is still a special talent, and like we've mentioned, I do think that is a potential future first-team All-NBA player. But when we talk about this upcoming draft, it's like, yeah, it's a luxury for them to have this draft pick because they are such a great team and they have put together a solid foundation. You did just trade Steven Adams, and I believe, yes, you are on the Rockets now, Steven Adams, but Brandon Clark was able to return. Yeah, that's fine as my 5, but if I can be aggressive, like we've seen the reports of them potentially trading up to number 3, ironically, with the Houston Rockets, and them go and secure Klingon to be that solidified 5, where now you can have Jaren Jackson go back to that roamer role that he was in when he did have Steven Adams to really be that unbelievable shot blocker that we saw, and Donovan Klingon just being the defensive force that we know that he can be. And then, of course, Ja Morant and Desmond Bane, who have proven to be one of the better offensive duos in this league. You have Gigi Jackson, who erupted, Vince Williams, who erupted their last season. I'm anticipating that the Grizzlies will be back as one of the better teams in the Western Conference next season. But yeah, you forget about him because we haven't seen him, but he'll be back to remind the world next year for sure.
What makes Ja and Bane one of the better offensive duos in the league? Who said that? He just said that
right now. Yeah, I should have specified backwards because they are one of the best better offensive.
They put up 24 a game this year.
Backcourts,
and Bane's efficient. Excuse me, Bane's efficient.
The knock on Memphis it's been a knock on them before. It's going to be the knock on them moving forward. It's their half court offense, and until they figure out their half court offense, this team is going to have a limited ceiling. I think they have some potential pieces with Gigi Jackson, who I'm very high on his potential, but it's a much different role from being on a team that is just trash and you're getting a lot of shots versus now you have to fit around star players and you have to play a role. You have to play defensive at a high level. You have to make the extra pass. You have to shoot well. You have to play a specified role. And I think he's capable of that. He has the talent to do that. But that's the issue with them. I think it is great that they have a top 10 pick, but it all matters what they do with it. In the draft, I feel as if to build out an overwhelmingly great team, you have to go with best player available and you have to kind of shoot for the stars. That's why I understand the Dalton Connect pick, but at the same time, I don't know if he's somebody that ceiling is high enough for me to take the top 10 pick on, even though he fits very well around what they do. I think it's probably another player they got to probably trade up for to get one of those overwhelming talents. But Ja Morant, I mean, listen, he's an all NBA level talent. I think the guard position is stacked in the league right now, but he's definitely worthy and could be an all NBA second teamer, third teamer. And if he has a truly spectacular season, he could be a first teamer. I think Memphis can be a sleeper team in the West next year, but it's all going to rely on how much of a leap their half-court offense makes that will put them into a contention status or not.
And just like any other team, just like any other player in the NBA, it's going to rely on Ja Morant. We could talk about Ja off the court issues, but the number one issue I'm looking at just is injury history. We're going on really 3 seasons now. Of course, the last 2 seasons didn't miss a ton of games, but in the playoffs, these last 2 playoffs, he has missed time. And if the Memphis Grizzlies really want to get to kind of a championship ceiling, which might be a little premature, you have Ja Morant at 23 years old, and Jaren Jackson, Desmond Bane, all
24.
these guys, 24, my apologies, still a relatively young core. And to expect them to go from this team that was terrible this year, granted with injuries, to just turn around and go and make a WCF appearance, I still think that's a lot to ask for them. If Ja Morant's able to take another leap, because listen, Riv, he averaged 27, 28 a couple of seasons ago, able to get to, I guess, second round of the playoffs 3 years ago. First round lost to the Lakers last season. But I still think there's legit questions if Ja Morant can be the best player on a championship team. I think Ja, up to this point, exactly. It's a question for most players. I mean, we were going into this season saying, can Jason Tatum be the best player on a championship team? That's a very high standard to live at. There's legitimately 6, 7 players in the NBA right now. We're having that same conversation with Jalen Brunson. I don't think that's a disrespectful thing to say to Ja Morant. But if the Grizzlies want to take that next step, of course, hitting on draft picks is important. Hitting on trades like Marcus Smart, if he's able to come back and be that, maybe not DPOY level we've seen a couple seasons ago, but be a high-level, impactful player. But at the end of the day, it's all going to fall on your best player. If Ja Morant's able to stay on the court, if he's able to stay healthy, but more than anything, if he's able to develop his game from, we just had this kind of John Wall, Ja Morant discussion, who's better. If he's able to elevate his game, in my opinion, to a way John Wall maybe wasn't, if he's able to develop a consistent jump shot, it doesn't even have to be a 3, a consistent pull-up jump shot. If he's able to be more dangerous from different parts of the court, because I thought we saw that a lot in the Lakers series where they were just cool letting Ja shoot. If you want to go up there and take your threes, we're fine with that, but we're not going to let you just blow by us off the dribble and yam it on somebody's head. If he's able to have a more well-rounded game, then the ceiling for this Grizzlies team is completely different. But until I see that, I look at them as kind of a second, maybe third tier in the West where, sure, they could be a top 3 seed. But going into a playoff matchup, you're telling me going up against the Denver Nuggets, that's going to be a tough series. Going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves, depending on what they do in this offseason to possibly get some shooting. Going up against the Dallas Mavericks, they could have a great regular season. But like Joel mentioned, that half-court offense in a playoff setting, I still have some real questions about.
I don't know how to feel about the Grizzlies, to be honest with you. It's been a long time since we really got to see them. I think Joel made some good points, and Dehls is just like, the team that we've been seeing over the last few years and some of the things that we like about them, it's hard to put into context, really, because I really like Vince Williams, and I think those type of finds can really help a team in a long run of being able to just find guys like that. But we haven't seen them in that the real Memphis Grizzlies team because Ja was suspended, and then he got hurt, and then Desmond Bane was hurt. So the jump that we've seen from Desmond Bane without Ja, is it going to be able to translate at the same effect with Ja? We also seen some strides here and there from Jaren Jackson offensively that I was happy to see, but how is that going to tie into him, Dame, and Ja? And then, the GG Jackson, and what if they trade the 9th pick like they've been rumored to try to do to get a win now ready player? Or what if it's Donovan Clingan? It's just so many different questions and concerns. I do think they're going to be good, but I don't know how good they'll be, especially because the West is just like the NBA in general. It changes so much from year to year. It's kind of getting crazy. There could be a team like next year that we're not even discussing right now that could do some stuff in the offseason that has us looking at them completely different. Who knows what the Lakers are going to look like? Is KCP going to be back on the Nuggets? That's a real question. So because of all of that, I definitely consider the Memphis Grizzlies a part of a playoff team. I mean, one of those playoff teams, but it's just like how I don't know where to really place them or what to really think of them because it's been so long since we've seen them with so much of this new stuff going on. So I'm excited that they will be back in the mix, but the Warriors are going to, who knows what they'll look like next year. The Rockets could potentially take another step. What will Vic look like in year 2 with the Spurs after their offseason? Like, it's just so many questions that somebody's not going to make it. That's the thing I will say. Somebody's not going to make it. Somebody's going to fall off. And that's going to be interesting to see, because off the top of y'all heads, who are y'all etching in right now as playoff teams? 8 teams.
Nuggets.
Probably
Denver.
locked. You have OKC. You have probably the Mavs. We'll go Wolves. We'll go Denver.
I think the Suns still make the playoffs.
The Clippers could miss it.
See,
I think the Pelicans
if I'm
could
going
miss it.
locked, it's
I don't
just
think
the
there's-
teams
I
that
think
I
it's the
named.
4 at the
Just the
top.
teams that I named.
that are locks.
That's it.
That's
After-
crazy that some of
Agreed.
those other teams can miss it. That's wild.
I mean, I can't say the Lakers are guaranteed locked, understanding
That
that we
play-in
were
is
top
scary,
7.
man.
We were a play-in team this season. We did play better in
I
the
think
second
this
half
is
of
the
season,
exciting part, though, because it's like you're in a situation where you have young stars and whatever, and you have a draft pick, you have you found some gems. You're looking at the West, and it's changed. Like P mentions, it's changing and it's getting better, and it's always going to be at the top of their game. Memphis, you probably have like a short window to not make a mistake, because if you make a mistake, it could put you back now another season, or an injury again could put you back. So you have to really be like, this is the offseason where you have to be like on your A game. And I don't think the best player in the championship team, I think, is like, you're probably like a year or 2 early to have that conversation, because I think you still have yet to see this team really be built to mature, even really be built to go into playoff series and really try to win. I think they've just won off their swag and their youth and just how, they've caught teams by surprise. I think they really haven't fully built this team correctly. So I don't know if that conversation needs to be had. First, you have to really go into playoff series and with an actual really good team all around and see what's the real issue. Like, I think OKC did that this year, where they went in, they were a top 1 seed. They kind of had their great regular season. Now they went to the playoffs, lost in the second round, but now they know their real issues. Like, all right, we know what's the real problem. Let's work on it. I think Memphis has yet to have that, because they kind of were the young, exciting, flashy, talk shit team. They kind of ran into some good troubles. And realistically, Minnesota choked more than they wanted. So they were able to, piggyback off that and kind of get that series out. But I think
Memphis gave the Warriors a solid series before John.
Yeah, they did for sure. I'm not saying they didn't, but I think people knew Golden State was going to win that.
They lost both games with Ja.
Yeah. So
I'm tripping. Or Ja had a game where he went dumb.
No, he went dumb both, but they lost both.
So
And
I
they
think
won the game without him. Facts.
Yeah,
He
it's
did play well
definitely an
against us.
exciting moment. Like Memphis, they definitely can't make a mistake, because you have Ja Bane on those big deals. You have Jaren Jackson on a really good deal. So you have to really maximize your small window to just like not make a mistake.
And another reason why I agree, the conversation about Ja best player championship team way too early, 24 years old, you said. But it's also just the archetype of player he is. Go throughout NBA history, you're talking about a slimmer guard, super explosive, who struggles to shoot the ball. Although that could change, he could put on some weight, he become a better defensive player, he could find a jump shot. All that is true. But when you just look at the history of the NBA, who is winning these championships, who's the best player on these championship teams, he would be an outlier. And again, we're still probably 2 to 3 seasons away from Ja Morant's potential. We could be way too ahead of the curve. But I'm just thinking where I would put them, what kind of tier I'd put them in next season. Those 4 Drew mentioned, I feel very confident in. But Memphis has as good of a case as anybody else.
They're a wild card. They can win 50 games and you like not believe in them still to go into the playoffs.
Oh yeah, I mean they did that, and then they lost to the Lakers in the first round. Even with the injuries they had, I feel like they had their core nucleus, and they still lost, and they lost handily. I feel like with Memphis, they have to make a decision on whether or not they want to go all in now, or they want to build and believe in the players they're going to draft for the future. Because Ja Morant's on a big contract, Desmond Bane's on a big contract, Jaren Jackson Jr. got paid. So ultimately, this is your core. With the young talent you have, do you want to go out and maybe get an overwhelmingly great wing that is great right now, like all-star right now? Or do you want to believe in the development of Gigi Jackson or a player you draft? I think in order for them to ever have a chance of making it out the West, Gigi Jackson is the X factor and wild card in all of this. I've already seen enough of Jaren Jackson Jr. to know what he is. He's a great defensive player in a certain role, but he's a poor rebounder and he's sporadic as a shooter. They need Gigi Williams to take a step and to Gigi Jackson to take a step and become a legit half court creator where he can score on all three levels. They need him to become a legit 3-level scorer.
Yep.
This week in the NFL, Dehls, what do you got?
I got 2. So I got 1 NFL, I got 1 NBA. Let's do the NFL first. So I got a would you rather, but a big 3 edition. Riv did something similar. We did like the Villanova boys. So this is NFL would you rather big 3 edition. We're talking about the New York Jets here. So the big 3 is going to be Aaron Rodgers, it's going to be Breece Hall, and Garrett Wilson. Would you rather have that big 3 or these big 3s I'm about to name? First team, Miami Dolphins. Tua, Achane/Raheem Mostert, and Tyreek Hill.
I'm going with the Jets. If you would have said Jalen Waddle, I would have said the Dolphins.
Say that one more time.
What? Respect Achane.
What do you mean?
He had a really good year.
Yeah. Achane's not better than Breece, though.
What was the guys you picked?
Tua, Achane, Tyreek Hill.
Oh, so 1 wide receiver, 1 quarterback.
No, so big 3 edition. Which big 3 would you rather have?
I feel like Waddle would be.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't go Waddle too.
Well,
but
all of these people I'm going to name is quarterback, running back, wide receiver.
Yeah,
like I asked that, he ignored me
Yes,
and just okay.
Because I wasn't giving you 2 receivers. That's not the game.
No, I asked. So it's quarterback, running back, wide receiver. You said no.
That's
what you
correct.
said.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah.
I misheard you, brother.
It's okay, bro. You can't hear. I get it. Give me.
Yeah, Breece is low-key the difference maker in this.
Give me the Jets.
I'm going Jets.
And Aaron Rodgers. He's better than Tua.
Is he
2024?
Who you got, P?
Give me the Jets.
Shout out to you.
I'm a big Jalen Waddle fan though, personally.
He's a dog.
He's mid.
Indianapolis Colts. Anthony
What?
Richardson.
Is you trolling? Oh,
Got him.
Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman.
Yeah, I'm going with the Jets.
Going with the Jets.
I'm going with the Jets too because Anthony Richardson. He said his shoulder was still hurting, man.
Oh,
That's concerning me, man.
Got hurt again?
Yeah,
I saw checked out today.
Yeah, I know. I saw a report that no one was really that worried, but I did see that. The Lions, Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Give me the Lions.
I'm going with the Lions.
Lions easily.
Difference maker is really how much
Amon-Ra.
you believe in Breece Hall.
Oh.
And Aaron Rodgers over Jared Goff. Because I think Aaron Rodgers over Jared Goff. Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, that could be a toss-up.
I feel like the Lions beat them in every
Garrett
category
Wilson,
except running back.
Garrett Wilson with a quarterback is better than Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm going with the Jets.
I don't think it's crazy. I love.
Of course, you don't think it's
crazy.
fucking crazy,
bro.
No, bro. There's nothing to say. Amon speaks for me. Like that's really it.
Yes, I like that. I like that phrase. Amon speaks for me.
Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams.
Chicago Bears, baby.
DJ Moore.
No, I'm going with the Jets. With respect, you said
Chicago Bears, baby.
That's what I'm saying.
DeAndre Swift is a killer here.
Yo,
Jets easy.
Give me Chicago.
P, you're locked in on the Bears this season. I love that for you.
Bear down.
All right, next up,
I'm never picking against DJ Moore. Give me Chicago.
Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, and whichever receiver you want.
It's the Jets.
I'm going with
Jets.
the Jets also.
I didn't know if Jordan Love moved you guys too much over Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, he moves me. He's
give
better
me
than Aaron Rodgers.
Give me the Packers.
It's the Jets.
Who you got, Riv?
Joel convinced me with that Jordan love.
Yeah.
Give me the Jets. Give me the Jets.
I got 2 more. The Atlanta Falcons with Kirk Cousins, Bijan Robinson, and Drake London.
Give me the
Jets.
Give me the Jets. Give me the Jets. Give me the Jets.
Breece is better than Bijan. I believe
that can change.
It is equal.
Yeah.
But I do believe Garrett Wilson's better than Drake. But Drake is going to be amazing this season.
He clears Drake.
I think Garrett does clear.
Respect Drake London, so help me God.
You got to respect Garrett Wilson.
I do.
He's putting up these numbers with
Drake.
garbage quarterbacks.
And
I'm taking the Falcons because Drake London got himself a quarterback now.
Nice.
But I could be that could fall flat on his face.
I'm gonna respect the 4-time MVP. I'll go with the Jets.
Last one. The Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray, James Conner, Marvin Harrison.
Oh,
The
bro.
Jets.
Oh, no.
The
What
Jets.
was this?
AZ, man. We're
I mean,
here.
they're sleeping on James Conner.
The Jets. I like
He's
James Conner.
first.
The Jets, though.
James Conner was a dog at the end.
James
of last
Conner is
season.
killing me here.
It's the Jets.
I'm going to go wild card. Give me Arizona, man.
Hey,
Yo, why is he cooking?
Come on, man.
what team is Austin Eckler on now?
He's on
Washington.
Washington.
I was thinking the Chargers too, but they just don't really got a running
They
back.
ain't had
or
nobody that
receiver.
really
Yeah.
know.
J.K. Dobbins breakout season. He's
Yeah.
here.
Okay,
I'm going Arizona.
We're here. We're back.
Damn.
We're back.
I saw your quarterback list. That shit was funny.
Yo, bro.
I don't know how we got there. I died.
No, that shit is confusing as fuck, bro.
Nah, bro.
Bro
I don't
said,
know how he got there. When you made the fucking list was insane.
No, because I'm doing it. So I saw Joel do it. So I was like, oh, this looks fun. Let me see how he did it, right? So I'm starting it up, and they just have faces. So I'm like clicking.
It's
I'm
easy.
like, how the fuck do I know where somebody's ranked? What if I want to change it? So it was like I got to a point halfway where I'm just like, fuck it.
I don't know
Just
how
start
he
clicking.
got there. It was funny as
Nah, that
shit.
killed
Because I saw the list of that, and I'm like, wait, Trevor's fake low. Like he's low, and I was like, fuck. Okay, we're here.
Because Baker was over Trevor.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was
no,
crazy.
I don't know what
You had
happened.
Baker at 14.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know what
Do
happened.
you have
there.
over Kyler too?
No, I don't know where Kyle. I can look it up. Let me see. I can look it
All
up.
right. My other one got a little bit of trivia. NBA Finals starting tomorrow. NBA Finals about to go on. Can you guys give me the top 10 leaders in points per game in the NBA Finals?
Michael Jordan.
He is number 2.
LeBron James.
Can you let all of us go?
Apologize. You're right.
Yeah,
that was rude
one
of
by
me.
one.
That was rude of
There's
me.
some gimmies here. LeBron, yes.
Kobe.
I won't say anything else.
You said Kobe?
Yeah.
Is not here.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry just makes it at number 10.
We're fucking here.
There's an easy answer too. Go ahead, P. I'll let you throw a name.
Who has played in the final? Elgin Baylor.
Elgin Baylor's not here.
Dwayne
Damn.
Wade.
All right, just skip the line.
Dwayne Wade?
I did go twice, so
Dwayne Wade is not here.
Oh, I don't think he qualifies.
I believe it's a minimum of 10.
all right, I'm just gonna say Kevin Durant.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't. Think.
Yeah, that's
Excuse me.
A minimum of what? 10
minimum
games?
of 10 games. 10 games.
Oh, he should.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant is number 4.
Yeah,
Oh
had to be.
shit! But remember, they brought him down.
Yeah, yeah.
Spurs.
Karl Malone.
Karl Malone is not here.
Wow.
Carmelo, he made it
He
to
played
one.
14 games.
James
13,
Worthy.
13.
Kareem.
Yo, brother, can I?
What?
Oh, my
Name it
fault.
all the Lakers.
My
Like
fault. My fault.
Jerry West.
Okay, here we go. Jerry West is not here.
What
Yeah,
the
excuse me. Jerry West is here, number 3.
This
I'm
guy
like,
doesn't know how
what
to do
the
his
fuck?
job.
Shaq.
Shaq is number 5.
Nice.
This shit, Joel. How we
That's
go
too
that
easy.
far without saying Shaq?
He was naming the Lakers. You missed him.
So you guys are missing number 1, but you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10.
It's about to be Luka Doncic. Number 1.
He won't be qualified.
He won't be.
That was glazed.
It's crazy.
Is Kyrie Irving on this list?
Kyrie Irving is number 8.
Yep. Let me cook.
Fuck.
You're in trouble.
He's ahead of Steph. I'm sick.
Hold on. Because he gave fucking 2 back-to-back 40s.
Yeah, and then he lost him.
There's 1 gimme and there's 2 older guys.
Oh,
All 3 are
John
older.
Havlicek.
No.
Okay. Larry fucking Bird.
No.
What the fuck? You guys suck.
Is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar not on there?
I didn't think so. He was an older.
Oscar Robertson.
No.
Bill Russell.
No.
No, fuck no.
Oscar ain't played 10 games, did he?
I don't know. Did he? I thought he went to 2 finals.
That don't mean you can play 10 games.
You're right. He could have smoked them out.
Respect, Bill. He
You're
averaged
right.
25 and 16 in the final.
Did he?
Yeah.
The
I
cutoff
didn't know
here
he
is
did that.
27
25 and 16. It's crazy.
I thought he was at like a 20 and 25 type.
Now he has some
Wilt!
historic closeout.
No
games.
Wilt.
What the fuck, Wilt?
Again, Wilt was old. He was not that.
He was averaging
yeah.
40 at old
Nah, but
David.
when- you're right. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Who are we missing? That's a
Hakeem.
gimme.
Hakeem, yeah,
Hakeem.
number 9.
Oh,
Yeah,
duh.
I'm trying to think of one, and I'm only
Okay.
thinking of one.
1 and 7.
Don't give any hints.
Clyde Drexler.
Hell no.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
What did I do, bro?
Isaiah
Oh.
Thomas.
No.
Mm-mm.
Old heads.
David Robinson.
No.
Tim Duncan.
No.
Bro, fuck. How old? Oh, Moses Malone.
No.
Am I getting cold or
Uh,
hot? You don't
neither.
even know.
Don't answer.
No, these are old heads.
Like
Tim
old
Duncan,
old?
not Tim Duncan old head. No.
Wait,
Yeah, you have
1
to
and
give me an
7.
old head frame,
1
bro.
and
You
7
can't-
are old heads.
Like
Yeah,
old,
the 2 you're
old, or
missing.
old?
Old
the
head.
fuck?
Like what type of old head? bro?
Old head,
Like
Grant.
plumbers? Plumbers?
Old heads.
All right.
Dave Counts.
Crying. Fuck. Ooh.
Bob Cousy?
No.
That's an old head. I mean, cooked.
Shit.
His ass wasn't even no bucket like that. I'm tripping.
Pete Maravich.
No.
Did he even go?
No clue. I'm just naming old heads.
Stupid.
Who the fuck you naming?
I named like
The
6
new
guys
guy.
on
Name
here.
an old head right now.
Wes
Number
Unseld.
No. Number 1, he averaged 36.3 points. It was
He
3
played for the
points higher
Bulls.
than Michael Jordan averaged.
George Mikan.
George Gervin.
No.
All right.
This is crazy, bro.
Gervin's fucking.
Missing 1 and 7.
Patrick Ewing.
No. He said
Old
old.
head.
Old.
Sorry.
Yeah, this guy.
Oh man.
Patrick went to 1 finals. 2.
I was.
2. I don't think he played.
I knew it was gonna be some bullshit when he said Michael Jordan, number 2.
Number 2. OG. OG.
Magic Johnson.
No.
Hell no. You looking at the comments?
Who's number 1 in scoring in the playoffs?
I thought it was MJ.
No, it's no. In
It's the
total
finals,
points,
right?
it's LeBron. Correct.
LeBron.
It's LeBron. No, LeBron's 2.
Oh.
Who's 1? I'm blanking.
So wait, MJ was 3.
He had
Who
to
is the
pass this guy.
certified bucket we not thinking of?
Bro.
This dude played in like the 60s.
Oh fuck.
He's
This
one
is
of the.
terrible.
Oh,
All right, 60s.
he's definitely.
I'm not gonna get this.
Like
Big
50,
man?
50, 67.
Big man?
No.
him.
Walt?
No.
Walt who?
Frazier.
I thought you were talking about Bill Walton.
No.
Not him. Rest in peace, him, by the way. Brent Berry.
No. Okay,
Brent
one I
Berry?
guess one's a wing, one's a big
I
man.
read a comment. Rick Barry.
Yes, Rick Barry. Yeah.
He's number 1.
Rick Barry is number 1, 36.3
No fucking way.
points per
That's
game.
crazy, bro.
And we're missing 7.
You're missing 7.
What is he?
He was a big.
Old or old?
Old, yeah, same, like 50s, 60s.
Bob Pettit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It was number
You're
7.
a legend.
So I had Caleb Williams at 50.
Okay.
Okay. So just to recap the top 10, Rick Barry, number 1 at 36.3 points per game, 3 points higher than number 2, Michael Jordan. Jerry West at 3, KD at 4, Shaq at 5, Bron at 6, Bob Pettit at 7, Kyrie at 8, Hakeem at 9, Steph at 10.
Kevin Durant, man, Finals legend.
You're not even gonna believe who my 37th QB was.
37th?
Sam
Joe
Howell?
Flacco.
Same how. Joe Flacco did not get brought up.
All right, my this week in this NFL/NBA is we are going to have a player potentially enter this conversation. But if you guys can name me the 10 youngest players to ever win Finals MVP,
Magic
D-Wade.
Johnson.
Magic Johnson's number 1 at 20.
Facts.
D Wade is on this list at 24 years old.
Kawhi Leonard.
Dwayne was
He didn't-
7.
he didn't put the numbers down.
Kawhi is number 2 at 22 years old.
I put mine down because it's fucking me up.
Yeah, we cooking. Let's keep
No
cooking.
misses yet.
All right, I'm
Let's,
here.
let's
I'm
think.
here.
Let's think. Let's not
I'm here.
miss. Let's think.
Kawhi Leonard's on there, right?
I said number 2 at 22. Magic was 20. Dwayne Wade was 24.
Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan is also tied for second place, 22 years
Let's
old.
keep cooking,
get the
y'all.
youngest?
No misses.
Yeah, Magic was the
Oh,
youngest.
Magic was the youngest.
Let's no
You have
misses.
1, 2, and 3. Oh, yeah, you do. We'll also remove Magic because he's also on here twice.
Got it.
Okay.
So you didn't number it,
No, I'm here.
He's all over.
No, I'm not.
clearly.
Nikola Jokic.
Nikola Jokic is not here.
Thank
Giannis.
Strike number 1.
You stop.
Giannis was like 27,
Seven.
28.
No, he's like 26.
Giannis was 26. Just falls short on this
Oh,
list.
sorry, 27.
Damn.
If you get rid of Magic, yeah, he just falls short.
Shaq.
Shaq is not here.
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird is not here.
Kareem.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Dang. He is here. Number 4, 23.
Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas. You're on the right track, but it's not IT.
So is what, Joe Dumars or some shit?
It is Joe Dumars.
Really? He was
Number
older
9.
than IT.
Correct.
No, he was younger. I capped terribly bad.
Who are we missing? How many?
25. You are missing
Mr.
1,
Oh.
2, 3, 4.
All the old guys.
No.
Some new guys.
There is one new guy.
Okay. Was it?
Relatively new. Relatively. In the 2000s.
Steph's not up here.
No.
Yeah, figures.
Yeah, you
brother.
went super new.
He's 26.
I mean, he was not. Steph was not 26 when he won his first Finals MVP.
It was
Yes, he
not.
was.
Steph Curry
He was 26.
when he won his first Finals MVP.
MVP.
Oh,
Finals.
I'm thinking my
Finals
fault.
MVP.
My goodness.
That's on me. That's
EDG all over again.
definitely on me. My fault, yeah. That's on me. I fucked up. I fumbled.
If it's in the 2000s, I mean, the only teams that won championships in
Kobe.
the 2000s
No,
was
wasn't Kobe.
the Lakers.
I'm tripping.
Shaq, Kobe won Finals MVP. Was the Pistons.
Tony Parker.
Bang.
That's a bang.
That's it right there. Number 5.
There we go. There we
Tony
go.
Parker.
We're getting back.
All
We're
right,
back.
now we have 3 older heads. Definitely older heads. Not the 60s that Joel was on, but old heads.
Larry Bird.
No.
Old ass.
I'm giving no hints.
Was it Moses?
It was not Moses.
West Unseld.
It was not Wes Unseld.
Julius
but
Erving.
I love throwing that name around. He was a bucket. Who?
Julius Erving.
No.
Don't even know if he.
I think he averaged like 12 points.
What Sanso?
Yeah.
Probably not his prime.
He won MVP, averaging 12 points.
What the fuck? Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Fraudulent. So not old, not like 60s, 70s.
They are 70s.
Oh, okay. So
My bad.
2
14.
70s, 180s. I'm not saying anything more. That's it.
okay.
Bob Cousy?
No.
Ain't Koozie before the 70s?
Yeah, I was gonna say Kuzis was like when they invented basketball.
50s.
So
That's all the shit.
Was it somebody on the Bucks?
it was not.
Yeah. Thought I had it. Do you even know?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure.
He has the answers.
I'm just making sure. Sometimes.
These are challenging. I'm not gonna say they're not. They're challenging.
Well, we have
But
to
they're
just remember
gettable.
who won the chips
Correct.
in the 70s.
Agreed.
And
Who
I
won
am
the chips in the
blanking on
70s?
shit right now. Don't. Ooh.
Walt Frazier.
Not a bad guess, but no.
Oh, Bill Walton.
There you go. That's one for sure.
Rest in peace.
Cook.
Good job.
There are 2 more.
That was a great get.
I was. He cooked. Shout out to people.
They're gettable.
I believe it.
Kevin McHale.
No,
John Havlicek.
I don't know.
not
I
John.
just guessed. Bill Russell.
Not Bill Russell. Those are 60s.
Damn.
He said 70s.
But that also, yeah, it was 60s.
I don't even remember who won in the 70s.
Wasn't there for it.
One was the 80s. Take it as you will. This one is challenging. This is the hardest one by far.
Because Detroit won back to back.
Dave Cowens.
All right. Since I'm a real fan of
Hold on,
numbers
wait.
on the board,
Hold on, no.
do you know who this guy is? Because I feel like Mike loves to throw this guy's name out there. It's either Mike or it's Derek.
Who?
I can't say it.
You can't say it.
Oh, I'm thinking you. My fault.
Now you
Mike.
good.
These Mike and Derek talking about somebody from the 70s.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like in 80s.
Oh, the 80s.
This
Still
played
80s. I could barely get them to.
Let's
know
think.
Steve
Detroit won
Francis
back to
is.
back. The Lakers won a few of them. The Celtics won a few of them. Who the fuck else won? They dominated the 80s. The Bucks won.
All right. I'm just gonna say it's not the Bucks. Get the Bucks out of your head.
Why do I
He
feel
said,
like
yeah,
Sidney
he said it ain't the Bucks.
The
Yeah,
Ci- I
Sidney
feel like Sidney
Moncrief Bucks. Hell no.
Why do I feel like they won
Not
one?
Sydney.
The Nuggets ain't never win one, did they?
No, not until
Okay.
in this era. Fuck.
Don't do that to him.
Who the fuck else won in the 80s, man? I would ask you, but
Fuck, you're
Mike
asking
or
me.
Derek loves this guy. That's,
Let me not
that-
say loves, but I feel like when
No,
it
no, I
comes
get
to
what you mean,
trivia,
though. I
he
get what
has
you mean.
said this name.
Damn, that I'm more focused on that now. I'm not gonna lie.
And I listen, maybe I'm pretty sure from some shorts that I've seen.
James Worthy?
No.
I'm sorry.
Oh, apologize.
I'm sorry.
I'm conceding.
Thanks,
Bro, giving up. I had to silent concede.
All right. Y'all gonna fuck around. I'm gonna give y'all the years. All right. 78, 79. This player won.
That
Then
shit
it
did not
was
help me. I'm not even
80 and
gonna front.
81. 80 and 81.
Oh,
This
shit.
player
Now we
won.
know.
80 and 81.
No, the Lakers won during that time. Yes.
The 80s were dominated by 2 teams. If it's not the Lakers,
It's
who
the
is
Celtics.
okay?
Dennis Johnson.
Dennis Johnson.
Ah.
Yes, but he was not on the Celtics. He was on Seattle when he won.
All right, well, fuck
All right, you
it.
got it. Great job. Who is the player from the 80s and 81?
Bing.
Wait. The 80s now?
No, it's 80. Yo,
I just said it. It's hard, bro. What's he like? 70s, 60s?
playing with Bill Russell.
Hey, Celtic legend to me is a Celtic legend.
Take his
Played
card, bro.
60s, played
All right,
80s.
80, 81 was the year this team won. What team is that? I think we're on the
Boston.
right track. Yes. All right.
It wasn't Kevin McHale.
It was not.
It wasn't.
Cedric
Bird.
Maxwell. Come on. Just quick.
Nah,
You
he
should
got
know
it. He got it. No.
Come
Don't do
on.
that to him. Don't do that to him. No, because I was there with you laughing at him when he
He said John
He
Havlicek.
cooked though.
Now pulling that out the hat got me a little bit suspicious.
No, look, my screen is black. My shit wasn't
It is off.
No, in fact, it is
dark.
black.
It's black.
Completely
He
off.
said that out of
He
nowhere.
ain't even that type of guy to cheat like that, man.
Nah,
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
That was good, man. That was
That
good.
was good.
We're here.
I knew it would be a little bit of a challenge because there were some old school names on there.
I know my
All right.
basketball, but when you ask me year, I don't know. My years is not good. Even when we talk about like the Warriors and the Cavs when they played, I'm always like, what year are we talking about? What year I said that earlier. What year did they miss all those threes? I'm like an old man. I don't know.
Dennis was the one that I genuinely was like, yo, he was on Seattle. Like, I get it if you guys don't get that
I
one.
was gonna say Dennis,
Mhm.
but I'm thinking of
remember
Dennis
the
as a
Boston,
Celtics. So I'm like,
Me
ain't no
too.
way he
Me
won it
too.
with the Celtics. Yeah.
That's a fact. Cedric, I remember because I'm pretty sure
He won that
for whatever reason, I watched numbers on the board and you guys had brought him up for whatever
We
reason.
did.
it
We
was.
really
Yeah,
did.
right?
Nobody
I thought
loved
so.
him, but he came up.
I thought so.
I have a blindly ranking.
All right, lit.
I have a blindly ranking. You guys are gonna
CP, again, I'm a fan. P, we're gonna let you take the lead on this one because you like to say that the guys over there don't trust you. We're gonna let you take the lead on
What
this
I'll
one.
be telling them is let's work as a team.
Okay.
I
Let's do
don't
it.
even know. I don't even know what it is, but I know Derek and Mike aren't 2000s basketball guys. So when he say 2000s, I'd be like, let me get this. I don't know y'all bags, so I'm gonna come in as a team player. That's
All right, we're here.
Well, this is
We're
the
here.
team player. I want y'all to rank this in a vacuum.
Okay.
Fuck the accomplishments. Fuck the awards. At their peak, at their best, rank these players. This is a guard edition. So blindly ranking
You know,
all-time guard
6,
edition.
I'm
You
guessing.
know what number it is. Stop asking me stupid ass questions. So first name, I'm gonna throw it
Such
to
a stupid number.
So dumb. So dumb.
but
Make
you
it
all
fucking
have fun.
5.
You all have fun doing
We
it.
do
So
have
what the
fun.
fuck is
Top
it?
You're right.
6.
Fine.
Stupid.
Okay, John, have the check.
Oh, Cedric Maxwell.
Cedric Maxwell.
Stamp
Yo,
it.
stop it.
Stamp
Stop
it.
You're dick eating.
Now I'm back.
Stamp
Now
it.
you got it.
Stamp it.
First
Come
name
on,
up,
man.
D-Wade.
All-time guards. Just guards.
Shooting guards or just guards,
I
point
said
guards.
guards.
I'm leaning 4.
Yeah, this is 4 or 5 to me
4?
personally.
I'm
I
going
MJ
4.
team.
MJ Kobe over him.
Guards though could be point guard.
Yeah,
Magic
point guards.
Johnson.
Steph,
Steph,
Magic.
I'm feeling 4.
Isaiah Thomas.
There are 6. I could be
Just are we
convinced
gonna
to
get
5.
all those names?
That's what my thought process was
I'm
for
cool
4.
with 4.
4?
Okay,
Yeah.
4.
All right.
Russell Westbrook.
Am I
6.
foul for saying 6? I don't want to disrespect Brody.
I'm cool with 6. Someone's got to be 6.
Someone
Six
has.
is valid.
P, you're sticking with 6?
I'm with whatever the team say.
Okay. Chris
He-
Paul.
5.
5.
Okay, we need heavy hitters.
I know. I'm
We
worried
need
now.
heavy hitters.
I'm worried now.
We need heavy hitters.
Hold on.
Well, I can't put
The
over
answer's
D-Wade.
5. You're right.
I love fucking
No, yeah, he
you guys.
can't be over Dwayne Wade.
No.
Can't be.
That was crazy.
Should have put D-Wade 3.
Should have put him.
You guys always do this
All right.
early.
All right. I
So,
trust the
Chris Paul
process.
at
5.
P, 5?
5.
No choice now.
All right. Jason Kidd.
We're fucked.
Yeah, this is over 3. It's over.
Fucking gave us Dwayne Wade so
Yeah, off
early.
rip. Might have gave us number 1 first pick. Might have gave us number 1.
Yeah, this is 3. This is
We have no choice. Fucking
Sure, you have options.
Oh, he's going 3.
Tony Parker.
2.
I guess it's
This nasty.
Why the fuck did you give us Dwayne Wade 1?
And then the last name that I was gonna say was
Marco
Steve Nash.
Bellinelli.
Fuck you. How about that?
You guys know. So pick a side / numbers on the board /
No, that's it. The heliocentric.
heliocentric. They accumulated this list. Steve Nash at 1, Tony Parker at 2,
You gave us
Jason
only
Kidd
one
at
shooting
3.
guard.
D Wade at 4, Chris Paul
This
at
is
5,
nasty.
Westbrook
Set us
at
up,
6.
man.
Why the fuck did you only give us one shooting
My goal
guard?
is to mentally fuck you guys.
Yeah, fucking mission
Mentally, huh?
accomplished.
Dehls, Drew. When I always give you the first name, I always fuck you guys with the first name, and y'all still don't learn.
That just
every
pissed
time.
me the fuck off.
I ain't know no better.
I
Gotta know your tennis. You had it.
I'll be honest, I didn't even put it to
Hey, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. On that note, it's time for
Yeah.
me to go my ass home.
perfect time.
Appreciate you,
Appreciate
P.
That was some
Pierre.
bullshit. I'm gonna see y'all in Vegas.
Yes, sir.
Celtics in 6, but we rooting for the Mavs.
Yo, we going, right? That's all I needed to
Hey,
say.
you ever seen that interview with Kobe in high school? They asked him, man, the other team said they could be Kobe said.
Hey, I'm trying to go
that's
2
top
nights
tier.
here.
That's all I needed to hear.
I'm trying to go every night.
All right, gang.
Just don't
I
take
love-
me out of
I don't
this.
know if I
Be
can
good,
get
bro.
my girl coming, so I don't know if I go every night.
Okay.
But
he'd bring a wife this time. I respect that.
going.
We're going.
All of us.
Just don't take me out of there. Man.
Don't count on
You
that.
don't have to drag him.
Don't count on that.
We can do that. It'll be about 8 of us.
Tell D Millie drag him.
Facts.
Boom.
Got some bodies to do it.
Okay.
Love y'all boys, man.
Love you
Peace
too,
out.
gang. Be good.
Have a great night.
Joel, I got to be honest with you, bro. That Cedric Maxwell moment was one of my favorite by far ever.
That was
Come
a
back.
great pull.
Come
I
back.
know
That
you had it in you.
That was
I'm
like
honest.
Tatum first 3 quarters against Philly. Not looking good. Fourth quarter,
Whole
we hit.
time Celtics player.
Nah,
I know you had
fuck
it.
Maxwell.
Fried
No,
up.
you just pulled a 3-1 comeback.
Nah,
You were getting your ass
gee.
cooked, and then you just said, "Fuck it,
Yeah.
lock in. I'm here."
Because that John Havlicek shit was bad, but
No,
damn
that
it, that
shit-
Cedric Maxwell was even better.
So, question: we can end on this note.
Okay.
Good energy. Episode was clean. We're 2 hours and 40 in. We can just, you know what I'm saying? Say the listen.
It's not the craziest thing you've ever said in your life. We already ran this 2 hours,
we
30
ran
minutes.
this in,
Honestly, it
had
was
a-
a near perfect show.
amazing. We had
This-
some good arguments in
Good,
there.
really good
yelling.
arguments.
You tweeted at somebody saying we're not going to get a Joel moment, jumping up and down. We in fact
You
got
thought
it.
you weren't gonna get a P moment, and P gave that energy all show long. He was ready for smoke this episode.
I love that.
Shocked
Bring
the
that in.
shit out of me, truthfully. I was
Actually,
not ready for P
I
to be
sat
on
over
go.
like this.
Yeah.
Joel was like, "Fuck it, we here." And I'm like,
And you know what? I really tried to stay 50-50 on it because last time P was on the show, I was the target. So I was really trying to stay sound, which is why I felt what you were saying a lot. Truthfully, I definitely did.
I
but-
wasn't bugging. We
No,
all heard the
you
same
weren't.
thing.
You
He just
weren't.
lost me with the chip.
No,
shit. That was the only thing.
Yeah.
he started losing me at the chip shit.
Chip shit was crazy.
Yeah, that was bad.
I was like,
Because we all heard the same
He
thing.
clarified
and
what
then
he
was-
said,
yes,
but we
he
all
did.
heard the same
but
thing.
then he
Because
started
then
going.
once you,
the highlight was rough. The headline of that's tough because
Yeah.
I get like sure he didn't have the success.
No, I got the first part he was saying, but then he
Yes.
started talking about the chips. I was
because when you explained it about the Celtics saying that, yeah, the Mavs fucking may have handled all those teams, but none of those teams
Yeah.
equal what the Celtics are.
you just said it
That's
wrong.
that he did say it wrong.
No, because what he said, from my understanding, he said that all the teams that the Celtics have played equal more what the Mavericks are than what the Mavericks have played. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's how I
Yes.
took it at first too. And he was trying to make it like we were manipulating what he was saying. That's why I was just like, hey, I don't know about that.
No, that's what I heard.
Riv, why you got Lincoln bio in your bio?
bro.
Why'd you expose me?
Bro, because I tagged you in that shit, and I don't know, I just went on your
You
profile.
didn't
and
tag
stuff
me.
that-
I didn't. Well, I didn't.
No,
get
no,
the
not
tag.
in that. On
Oh.
IG, I tagged you on the Jaylen Brown quote, and
Yeah.
then that made me go on your Instagram, and I was like, why does it say Lincoln bio in his
That is
bio?
questionable.
Is it still in your bio?
Yeah, because I honestly didn't.
What'd you sell him in there?
I didn't see the issue with it until you brought it up, and then I started looking at it like, oh, I see why this doesn't make sense. Nah, it's been there for a while. It's consistent.
No, it's definitely been there for a minute.
Lincoln
Lincoln
bio.
Nobody has noticed.
You're a fringe idiot.
Or am I the idiot for doing it, or are you guys the idiot for not telling me it looks crazy?
No, you're the one, the idiot
It's
that's for
not you.
doing it.
It's not you.
Idiots by association.
I never noticed. I'll be honest. I never
appreciate
noticed.
that. Just ignore it.
The bio
I
being
never
capitalized too.
Well, first off, he clicked on your page.
He's a
What was
fucking
he on?
weirdo. He's
Well,
a
no,
weirdo.
What are we
I
doing?
tagged
So
him
Usually
on
you
the
say
JB
like
shit.
link down below, link with the finger
I actually
pointing.
don't remember what was going
Honestly,
through
you
my
don't
mind.
guys. The link's already there.
Yeah,
Like,
nah, OD.
you say link in bio on the story or something.
I literally just, I think I'm pretty sure I just have the podcast. Like,
yeah.
pick us
I
up.
have that, and then on top of it, link.
Can't be too sure.
And some people, some people just aren't. This guy, he's weird, man.
We could end off the show here, but I'll be remiss if we don't mention some WWE
I'm not against it
Cook.
Go
because
crazy.
goodness
I can
gracious.
say
because the WWE is cooking.
Oh yeah, I could take these
Um,
shits off.
Number one, I mean, it's just going to be you and me conversation, Drew.
Nah,
you
we're
know
used
these
to
guys.
this.
Well, Riv,
You
can come
surprise
along
me from
whenever
time
you
to
want.
time.
Yes.
If I hear something I know, I'll chime in for
First
sure.
off, Liv. She's
Yes,
going
she's
global.
sexy.
I
She's, come on, you're late.
I
No, I'm
want
here.
I want
I'm
to
a
get
Park
y'all
legend.
take on this first.
Really?
Yes.
How did you guys feel about AJ Styles faking his retirement and attacking Cody?
It was
Rhodes?
it's very reminiscent of Mark Henry, where Mark Henry was like, yeah, nah, it's done. And then he goes and he violates John Cena, if I'm not mistaken. But
Then
then
106 likes on that, bro. Delete that. Come on. That's just weird to me.
that's funny as shit. But then
Is
yeah,
it because when I said you want to fuck him comment? Was it that? Like
that was
Nah,
yeah, that was
true, but
funny as
it
fuck.
didn't even go together.
you were just glazing. I didn't like that.
I
at
just
all.
saw that, bro. It cracked me. I was laughing hard as hell. It's like, there's no way.
But I'm fine with it because AJ Styles put on an unbelievable match against Cody Rhodes when they were in France, and the energy in that stadium was it was unbelievable. Just the whole show, it was great. But for that match specifically, I felt like AJ got his swagger back. And we've known that he's been one of the best pure technical wrestlers in the game. But who better to put him up against than the champion, Cody Rhodes? And hopefully that's a little bit of a rivalry, a little bit of a feud. So we get some great matches from the champ. And I feel like that's what WWE really wants right now.
Y'all told me he was orderless, man.
He was.
And he went
but
in
Frank
there
saved him.
and did his thing.
I was not the only one that felt that way.
No, it was
no
Rev
way.
2. It was Rev 2.
No, but I'm sure the whole world felt that way too.
The AJ Styles is orderless?
France saved his legacy.
We got to do super chats too, by the way.
Oh, D.
Them black jeans wasn't moving me, bro.
I'll say this. I knew AJ Styles was doing it. I seen it coming from a mile away. I did not buy into it
LeBron.
at all. No, I didn't. There was moments where maybe I was swayed when he was going out to the ring and LA Knight saying, "Yo, if the rumors are true, respect."
Yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe he got me. He was talking about his kid. Who was really fooled though was Jess. I was watching the retirement, the fake retirement with her, and she, as he was speaking, talking about his kids, she was tearing up. She said, "We have to watch AJ Styles classic matches on YouTube."
What an insane person to watch. He's a legend. Let me respect it.
No, that's
AJ Styles is different.
G.O.D. He was.
And she said, "Man, I can't believe it, man." And then she did his pose. This shit.
I'm crying. Yo, Jess was in her bag.
Yeah, she was in her bag. And then when he attacked Cody, she was just like, "Man, he's so devious for bringing up the fatherhood stuff."
Oh yeah, he's crazy for that.
He sold it really good, and I think it's great that they're going in this direction. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I hope it does end in at least like a short title reign for him, because I feel like the send off for him is pretty soon.
He's not winning.
He's not being Cody.
No.
But you never know.
His best chance is to win Money in the Bank and him go after Mr. Priest.
Mr. Money in the Bank about to be Mr. Jey Uso.
Yeah, it is, and I'm here for it.
Yeah,
or LA Knight, I wouldn't be against it, but I think LA Knight's going to win US.
No, there's a lot of people who are capable of winning.
I love that Jess just commented, "I was sold."
No, yeah, she was. Oh my God, she got freaking tricked.
That was hilarious.
It was so funny. She was so emotional. Like, man, we got to watch all his matches on YouTube. She was like, "I'm never going to see this again."
I respect that.
But there's a lot of great storylines in WWE.
There are.
I feel like SmackDown.
Can we talk about the highlight?
But before that, I want to talk about this because it's been a question on my mind. Is Damian Priest about to have a short title reign? Is he about to lose it?
Not feeling
Drew McIntyre is most definitely going to.
He's due.
Take the championship.
Clash at the Castle.
When he comes back,
it's in Scottsdale.
He's going to take away the championship from him. Also, a sleeper to take away the champion from him. I think they finally give him his respect. Finn. I think Finn has a strong chance of taking that title away. It'll be interesting to see Judgment Day fall apart if that were to be the case, but it could fall apart starting from what we're seeing right now with Liv and Dom. And you're seeing that Liv is already trying to take everything away from Rhea Ripley. It could be a curveball that instead of Dom, she takes Finn, and Finn goes and takes the championship away from Damian. Now that would be crazy. Now it's just me trying to.
Back, man.
You don't like Damian Priest as a champion right now?
I don't really like him at all. His aura's off, his vibes off. I don't really watch.
I definitely think that his promo skills
is pretty good.
Yeah, his promo skills have to.
What
be
moves me is when
bit.
you on the mic. Like that's why like my favorites are like The Rock and stuff like that. So when you can't really speak on the mic, I'm just like.
I mean, Cena became the GOAT off being the promo GOAT.
Cena was also low-key a great wrestler.
I think a very underrated, great wrestler.
I was cool with that. I was young. That was like whatever. Like I'll watch it.
But on the mic, Lord have mercy.
I think what's going to happen is that I think Drew McIntyre is going to take the title at Clash at the Castle, and I think you directly lead into a CM Punk and Drew.
Yeah, when is CM Punk's reign, man? When is that going to start?
Mm-hmm.
He has to come back from injury first.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's just gearing up for that, for CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, because that's the one that is probably going to be the biggest storyline of the year for Raw outside of Liv versus Rhea. That's going to be number 2. But now I've been thinking about that because I think Priest is going to have a quick title reign.
It's unfortunate.
And I feel like he deserves better.
He had his moment at WrestleMania. What more do we want for him? You know?
They played around with the cash in for a long time.
They did. Like Kofi got his moment. It was amazing. It's a moment that will be remembered forever.
Then he got bodied by Brock.
Then he got bodied by Brock.
Yeah,
it was unfortunate. I agree. I think that he deserved better.
Yeah.
With Damian, I feel like
losing to Drew is cool.
Losing to Drew is respectable. It'll be a great match. He won't get his ass beat like Kofi got his ass beat. It'll be a great match, but Drew right now, You want to talk about having aura? I mean, Drew's got it right now.
He is trolling on Twitter. So funny.
Elite.
Oh my
Elite.
God.
He's done a great job of incorporating social media. Similar with Liv. Truthfully, Liv has done a great job with social media incorporating into WWE. I feel like that's an unspoken part about WWE, how they really bring the storylines to social media.
Yeah, I feel like they're doing it more often now.
It's a brilliant job. You know, everyone's going to be on X, going to be on Instagram almost every single day. Why not when it's not Monday, when it's not Friday, when it's not Wednesday, NXT? Why not bring it to everyone's attention?
We have these super chats here. Booty Liquor goes, pick a side, Mavs in 7.
Is that the one that's pouring honey on us?
No, that's the one that loves John.
Ricky goes, love the shirt, Drew and Riv.
Ricky,
LMAO.
Love you, Brody.
Mind of Reese,
Hey,
Mavs in 6.
tomorrow?
Y'all know what's up.
Shout out to Mo.
Santos goes, Mavs in 6. Ricky goes, MJ won his first ring after he beat the Pistons when they played the third time. Luka is going to rewrite history and win his first ring after beating the Clippers the third time they faced off.
Big storylines, man. Luka wins the chip. He's on top 10 type trajectory. Tatum wins the chip. Monkey off the back. He's going to get another one.
ZK goes, Luka, please save the sport from Celtics. KKK. Don't let that super team merchant Tatum get the credit
that's insane.
for his 3 All-Stars, saving him,
spelling.
choking in the fourth again.
I wouldn't.
Nuts.
Nah, it
Boston is a pretty liberal city.
That comment really hurt you?
It is, but
No, it really like I mean, I went to Boston this year. You see,
Oh, you
it's
felt
bad
it fit
BLM
in?
posts.
You felt that hole.
Just kidding. Let me not throw that on you.
Because I was surprised because that's like the talk. Yeah, but I went there, bro. There was mad BLM posters. Yeah, I mean the mayor, governor, what mayor's.
I'll tell you what, we
liberal.
don't throw those jokes at you at all.
No,
Nah.
shouldn't.
Nah, Twitter throws them your way enough.
I just feel like
Twitter's not
Drew,
real place.
me, and Riv got to be out there and scope out the environment and see what's up.
No.
You blend in. So
I mean, I guess.
you don't know what's going to happen for real. You know, Riv has to go to a convenience store and see if he feels off a little bit.
For sure. I definitely have to go in there and scope out like the location. Like we send Drew in, Joel in to check temperature, but now I'm the main test. I have to go see what's going on.
Bro's the final boss.
You know, for real. Because if they look at me a different way, it's like, all right, buddy. Like
If they're looking at me and Joel a different way, really have to worry
I'm in there,
about
like,
it. If they look at I mean, come
summer
on.
here, I'm getting a little darker. It's it's not looking too bright for me, but I feel you.
Booty Liquor went, hey, P, with 2 goat emojis.
Sounds a little
Irregular,
feminine.
Multiple
goes,
Ys.
I'll let
Booty
Pino.
looks just he's a clown.
underrated Kyle when he was the best player in the Clippers series, and he had 3 30-point games against the Wolves and had the highest plus minus in those non-postseason
He
games.
was their best player
Who
against
underrated Kyle though?
the Clippers. I don't
No,
know if we
he
did.
just has some. He has some bad games. He has some games where
It's
he
just
didn't, like,
OKC series,
Yeah.
really. Carlos Hernandez goes, yeah, I only see skin color. LOL, that's the bias.
I don't know what he's referring to exactly.
I don't know.
I have zero.
Let me think.
clue.
Do I have any white favorite players?
The dude on the right just saw Gil's arenas yesterday saying exactly Gil's points.
I don't know if he was talking about me or Pierre.
Yeah, because you're on the right
Yeah.
here, but when we
Definitely
go
Gil,
live,
man.
he's on the right. I don't know.
I don't know. I saw him say some dumb shit yesterday. That's about it. Though.
Listen, shout out to Gil. Obviously he shows love to the show.
Gotta get him up here eventually, man.
I would love that. I mean, Gil's the one playing games.
Busy
but,
man.
But
I want to
yeah,
get IT on here, man. That'd be dope.
I wanna
IT would be lit.
I want to go to a W.
You seen what he said? He said Kyrie would be the best player on the Celtics.
I want to confront him.
Oh,
With
man.
love.
What are you
and
gonna
respect.
say? Like if he just let's say hypothetically, IT jumps in
I'd
here.
see Boston legend, one
You
of my
start
favorite
digging.
players of all. Yes, one of my favorite players of all
I
time.
like that.
Kyrie Irving over Jason Tatum might be the silliest thing you've ever said in terms of basketball sense.
What's a player like y'all wouldn't Dickey when they come up
Bro,
here?
Klay Thompson gonna come up on this and you go Dickie. Don't even cap.
Yo,
Klay gonna come up on this show.
you know
go
what's
Dickie.
crazy? Like I won't Dickey, but I won't say a word.
You're
like,
lying.
I know I'll put this on my son's life. Like on my son's life. Clay comes up here. Hi Clay, how you doing? Like I have to control the anger that's inside me when I see his face.
What if
So,
Steve Kerr came up here?
I'm not that mad at him.
Oh, he gets a pass.
That's a
now?
legend.
Yeah. Come on.
He's
See
going
what he
to the
did in
Hall of Fame.
2022?
Yeah.
You see what he did to Kevon Looney? He gets a
I
pass.
don't know what he did this past year. It makes me think you don't even care about.
No.
2022.
He gets a pass. The Clay
Why
shit
didn't Klay get a pass?
because he's putting up donuts, bro. It's so different. Like he don't stop. Then he be trolling. Then he wants money. It's like, come on, bro, you doing too much, bro. He stresses me out.
Blame him for wanting money.
40 mil, yes.
He's not gonna get that though.
He knows that.
Yeah, nah.
You know, but
Got
asking
Tom.
for it is crazy to me.
25.
I'm gonna be honest. Not many players I would not at least give them their respect.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like every player that would ever come on our show, I would 100% respect them.
No, Rivers capping right now.
Yeah, you're lying.
I think I misinterpreted respect with Dick Eaton. I said Dick Eaton.
I mean,
would respect everybody. That comes
Austin Eckler's in my division. Like, I still give him his flowers.
So
How was
Steph Curry
I
came on.
Dick eating that?
If Steph Curry came on, you would eat his dick.
That's a dumb question.
He's a
Yes.
Boston
wouldn't eat his
legend.
dick is insane. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
If Steph Curry comes up here, I might not be able to finish the show. Like, come on, what are we doing? That's a different type of beast.
You're gonna be passed out in the corner right now.
Yeah, no, like that's my that's just my demeanor.
We'll get it one day.
About him, like
Steph,
yeah.
this is the way he plays basketball.
Yeah.
His skin color.
Well,
Sure.
Okay.
sorry.
His
What
aura.
would you, if you had one question to ask Steph, what would it be?
Damn, it's a lot. Genuinely, I think the one question I would ask him is just what's his day-to-day routine? Like, how does he like just wake up?
That's your
Maintain
go-to, really.
maintain
You ask
the positive.
Eckler that too.
Yeah, because I really would love how athletes just go about the day because they have so much shit to do, and especially with him, like Eckler. Shout out to Eckler, but he's not Steph, so it's like, what do you do throughout a day? Like another question would be like, take away basketball, take away your businesses. What would you do?
You wouldn't ask him if he, if he pisses like 10 feet away from the toilet.
You would ask Luka that, wouldn't you?
Like, would you ask Steph that? Hey, do you piss 10 feet away from the toilet? I just need to know.
Why would he's
He's in the question he would ask.
Yeah, I thought it was shooting too.
That was my secondary thought. So I'm not going.
And if you're pissing that far away, that means you're different. So that's like a question.
I was high. I was so high.
You don't
the
make
other
a meth
day.
though, because when it starts,
That's what I'm
you're not
saying,
getting.
yeah,
I was
like,
I took that edible we got from New York. So high the other day, pissed in my garbage. So, oh my god, bro, so high. I walked up. Like, I don't know. You have my bath. My garbage can is right next to the sink or the toilet. So I went in there, guy pissing in the garbage. Didn't realize I'm pissing in the garbage cans. I'm just like, oh shit.
you took out the garbage?
Yes. Yeah. No. Swear to God. No, not that at that moment because I was high.
The next day.
Yeah. When I woke up, I was like, oh
You
shit.
smell crazy.
Yeah, it smelled insane in my
like
bathroom.
asparagus.
And my grandmother was like, Rip, what the fuck? Like, why does it smell like that? I went in there. I'm like, oh no, I can't even tell I got high.
You're bugging.
Yeah. I was.
We got any more
so
super
high.
chats, or that was it?
No, that was it. So we could leave right now, honestly.
All right.
So that's gonna do it. You guys can follow us on Twitter at Pick a Side Pod, on Instagram
bounce
and
back
TikTok
episode,
at
That
Pick a
was a
Side
great
Podcast.
episode.
We going live
Thank you for
tomorrow?
watching.
Yeah. We're
Yeah,
we're on playback tomorrow.
Y'all do that. I ain't gonna watch the games live.
Why?
It's gonna ruin it for me.
Brother, you made me watch all these Lakers games last
You're not even
year.
a Mavericks fan.
You're not
It's
even a
the
Mavericks
Knicks.
fan, right?
Was
I'm
This
watching.
guy is
Nah, bro, you
insane.
made me watch the Wolves versus the Lakers.
Did you watch
You made
the
me
Wolves
watch.
in the
It
Mavericks?
wasn't the finals.
Did you watch the Wolves in the Mavericks?
You're not even a Mavs fan.
Finals is different. I got to be in my zone.
Bro,
if we're forcing Joel to
coming
watch
up
them,
here, you're
you
going.
don't got to go up there. I ain't saying you got to do it.
Drew, we in there. We ain't got nothing to lose.
Nah, Joel, if you don't go,
I'm saying a live reaction after.
I'll be honest.
I'm saying the
What? No, I
expectation.
don't. I understand
I'm not saying go
I'm
live
saying-
for the game. I'm saying a live reaction after the game.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, they talking about
we're
going
going
live
on
for the game.
playback.
Oh, nah.
I'm
After the game, reaction.
You don't want to watch
fine.
the game
I
live.
understand
in the
what
finals?
I
Nah.
understand what Dehls saying because when Steph is playing, I got to get in my room.
I got luck.
I got to lock it.
I'm just gonna let this be known now. Maybe I might watch like 1 or 2 games with y'all live,
You're nuts.
but live reaction after game 1, game 2, maybe we can.
Yeah, bro.
If it's the
gonna do
closeout
numbers.
game and the Celtics win, I'm not appearing for nothing that night.
You're not a Mavericks fan.
What's wrong with you?
That night, like if it's a closeout game,
Why
I'm
you
not
not-
watching it
why,
live. I'm not
though? You
appearing
hate them
nothing
that
live.
much?
Listen, it's not even that big of a
No, I
deal
just
if you
gotta
get
know.
it wrong. It's like, yeah, the Celtics are the favorites. It's
No,
okay.
it's not about getting it wrong. It's about processing. I got to process that.
But if they
Celtics
win,
won.
you're gonna go up
This is
there
what
and
I
talk
gotta
your
do.
shit.
Wait a minute. When the Knicks lost, did we go live that night?
No.
No, I don't think so.
The next day?
Well, it's because they lost when it was unfortunate events.
We didn't
Because
go
that was
live.
the same
next
day,
day
Game
either.
7 Nuggets, and there's a 20-point comeback. That was like the headline.
Did we go live that night?
I don't remember. But regardless, bro, this isn't even your team.
Y'all made me go live after 2 buzzer beaters.
It's not the finals, bro.
Does not matter. It's my favorite team.
The finals is different. I'm gonna be
This
honest.
isn't your-
No,
this
it's
isn't your
not.
team, brother.
It's not. It's
No,
not
it's the
different.
finals.
Love Luka.
Y'all made me go on there after Jamal hit us with a buzzer beater and then closed us out. I don't want to hear
If the
this shit.
Celtics win, it's a closeout game. If they win the series,
Nah, don't go
I'm
out,
not
sorry.
tweeting. I'm waiting an entire day, process my thoughts, and then y'all get me.
End the show.
Yeah, then y'all get me.
End the show.
You
No,
guys can follow us
he
on
is not
TikTok,
mad.
Instagram, Twitter. Thank
I'm
you for
angry.
watching,
I'm angry.
and we'll see you guys next time.